strong. Passion, pride, lug nuts, side by side. If you love what you drive, then ride, ride, ride. This is for the legends that started in dusty garages, for the kids who chase dreams through the scars and collages, for the racers who gave everything without fail, and the fans who stand proud when the engines wail. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, this ain't a phase. It's our passion, our culture, and we'll live it to the grave. Pedal to the metal, forever in our veins. So look out, we're only getting louder from here. Nothing built strong was ever built out of fear. The road is wide open and the fire won't slow, because this isn't a hobby, this is the only life we know. Pedal down, heads high. We're not done. Pedal down, heads high. Pedal down. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. You're listening to Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music, the show where horsepower, stories, and great music come together. From beautiful collector classics, to fire-breathing race cars, to the ground-shaking thunder of monster trucks. This is where the world of motors meets the power of music. So strap in tight, fire up, and grab your favorite cold drink, because a ride is about to begin. And now, here's your host, Roller.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing out there tonight, man? Welcome, welcome! Hi-oh! That's what I'm talking about, man. The thunder. Give me some thunder, baby. Give me some thunder. Hey, it's good to see everybody on here tonight. We got Robert Haas is in the house. We got Doug's in the house. Scott Goodhue's in the house. My cousin Debbie, man. You guys are just on early hanging out with old Roller. Looks like maybe my buddy Scotty, he come on, let's calm it down just a little bit now. Come on, calm it down. I got all my rowdies in here tonight, man. They're out there at the beer garden and they're just having fun and just having a good time right now. But I have my buddy Scotty Goodhue's on here, and Scotty, hello Carter. I was just wondering if maybe you got stuck at the airport with the power outage or not. I don't know. So if you did, it was a long bar time. I guarantee you that right now. So anyway, guys, we got a great show tonight, man. We got the Blue Ox himself in the house, Jay Bogart. He's going to be talking about the Blue Ox monster truck. I can't wait to talk to this young man, man. He was nice to talk to on the phone and stuff, so I think it's going to be a great, great time tonight. You know, I really do. Finishing out this month here, of course, we got Brad Keller on the 22nd. We got Danny Mass on the 25th and J.R. Adams on the 28th. And then we go into the new calendar month of April, guys. And I'm telling you what, man, April is filling up. Now, April starts off with the young guns of the auctioneering world. And on the 5th, we got my good buddy Scott Goodhue. He's a two-time world champion auctioneer. And we're going to be talking about these young guns. These are guys that's going to be replacing us one day. And they work with us now, man. And it's so good to be able to see your craft get passed down to somebody that's got such a passion for it, man. And Scott is a very instrumental part of these young men's life. He he's really mentored a lot of them, and it's probably a really good feeling for him to be able to say, hey, I worked with this young man and I helped him get where he's at and stuff like that. And I just wanted we're going to talk about each and every one of these guys, and then we'll go ahead and have them on throughout the whole month. But on Wednesday, the first, we got Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson is a custom hot rod builder, and he's going to be on the show, man. And I can't wait to talk to him. I really can't. It's going to be a good interview. And then, of course, on the 8th, we've got legendary monster truck announcer Dave Gross, and he's going to be on, and we're going to be talking about all of his time on the mic in the monster truck world and everything. And then on the 12th, we got Mike Welsh. Now, Mike Welsh is another legendary monster truck driver. Mike Welsh is especially known for driving Super Pete, and we're going to be talking to him about all of his time and stuff like that. So it's going to be fun. And then on the 15th, we got a guy that is totally amazing. The first time I met this gentleman, he's a side act. It's a thrill act, really, is what it is. And this man will do anything. He'll catch himself on fire. He'll blow himself up. He'll jump a car right into a double stacked bus stack, and oh, it's just amazing the things that this guy's done. And his name is Doctor Danger. His name's Greg Carpenter, and he's going to be on the show, man. We're going to be talking to him about his life and times on different stunt shows and different things like that. And then we have a good friend of mine. He's going to be on the 19th. His name's Jeff Little, and he has Sunride Rod and Customs right here in Parker, and he's going to be talking about his creations and different things like that. And then he's also going to be giving the best paint award at the car show that I'm putting on May the 31st. So that's going to be pretty good. We've got another artist coming on the 22nd. He goes by the name of Deadbird, and he's going to be on talking about his music and stuff. So we look forward to that. And then we still haven't we still got a few dates we got to book in and get people on and stuff. So April's filling up pretty fast. Now, the car show, it's coming along really good, man. Over last weekend, I opened the car show up Friday night to pre-registering, and by Sunday we have spots for 30 cars. And by Sunday, I had 20 pre-registered vehicles, and I mean some nice stuff. So this is the pamphlet we have for the car show, and it's being we're holding the car show at Seppi's Chala Breads there in Pueblo. It's located at my dad's old car lot back in the 60s, 131 Broadway Avenue in Pueblo, Colorado. And it's also being sponsored by this place called Broadway Tavern and Grill. It used to be called the Broadway Inn, and it's been there for a long time. Well, went in there the other day, and a good friend of mine that I graduated with runs the place, and his name is Greg Frankmore. And so he's going to throw a third place $25 gift certificate for the car show winner. So we got first, second place, third place, and we got best paint award this year. Absolutely free. If you got a hot rod, you can put your car in, your truck in, whatever it happens to be, and then donate to Ellie's church or temple. So that's what we're going to do there with that proceeds, and starts at 9:00 a.m. on the 31st. Registration on the flyer says it opens at 8 a.m., but I think we're going to open up a little earlier, about 7:30, and we're expecting 30 cars. So it's going to be a good time, man. It really is. If you guys are in the Pueblo area or close and you want to register that vehicle you have in there, all you got to do is send an email to jeffrichards327 at gmail.com. That's jeffrichards327 at gmail.com, and we'll hook you up, man. So make sure you, if you're close by, come and attend this show. Come and check it out, if nothing else, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. We had to put the motorhome on hold right now. The gas prices, guys, is just, it's not feasible to take the motorhome out, man. I don't even know if I'm going to even be able to take it out on a weekend camping trip or nothing. I think the way these gas prices are, we're close to $4 here in Colorado right now, and unless something happens and turns around, as soon as the gas prices go down, we'll get back out there with it and start that program. So look forward to doing it. I just it's all about cost effectiveness, and bringing the motorhome out right now is just not cost effective. Basically because it's an old school 454 motor in it, and the motorhome is 35 foot long, and it's like driving a big block through the air, and it might get 5 or 6 miles to a gallon on a good day, and that would be going downhill in neutral with a good tailwind. So we're just going to put it on hold, and we'll bring that out as soon as we can, and hopefully those gas prices go down. So, but the trophies are going to be built by a gentleman by the name of Jesse Scott. He has Jesse Scott Crafts and Creation Studio. His email address or website is www.jessescott.com. His phone number is 715-721-5999. That's 715-721-5999. He's going to be building the trophies. We're going to have some trophies like the pedal to the metal with your host roller. That's a light box. Then we have the big spark plug over there. It'll have the company logo on it, and it's going to be a good time, man. I think the car show is going to be great. Then the $25 gift certificate and stuff like that. So, and if you guys are in the Pueblo area and you happen to be over by that Broadway address, that's 131 Broadway, stop in at Seppi's Challah Breads. This lady makes this bread, and it is phenomenal. She makes a cinnamon and raisin. She makes a chocolate chip bread, and then she makes a plain bread. And she was in all the King Superstores and all that. She had a little trouble back in the 2000 era. This place she was in, they shut it down, and she couldn't get in to get all of her supplies out, and she lost probably $20,000 in bread and stuff like that. So she had to get out there and start all over again, and it's taken her a couple years just to rebuild this place where my dad was in the 60s and the 70s. So I look forward to that. That's going to be a good time. So that phone number over there is 719-664-2042, 719-664-2042. Give them a call, man, and if you're over in that area, get yourself some bread. Also, stickers are out. We got stickers. Haven't had a chance to get a hold of my website designer, but we're going to put these stickers up on the internet. We got the new Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music sticker. We got the original sticker from Rolling with Roller and Derek. That's when that's done, it's done. We have some Rolling with Roller and Derek stickers right here. We have those. We have the full-size Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music sticker. We have the old school Pedal to the Metal with your host roller sticker. Once these are done, they're done. And then one more of the Rolling with Roller and Derek stickers right there. So those can be bought individually, or we'll put them in a sticker pack and allow you to buy them that way too. So we look forward to getting that out on the website here real soon. Arch Auto Glass, my buddy Art, he is amazing at what he does. He has a mobile service. He'll come right to your place. I mean, right to your place. And if you mention the show, he'll give you 10% off on installation of your windshield, side glasses, mirrors, whatever you happen to need. And when he's done, man, he cleans up his mess and everything's fine. Looks really good, and guarantees no leaks in it. So that's Arch Auto Glass. Art's his name, 10% off if you mention the show, and 720-296-8635. Like I say, always, car show season's just right around the corner, guys. And my buddy Texas Rich, he makes those metal prints, and yeah, you've heard about him, but I gotta help him promote them. I really do. I gotta help him out right here. He makes these metal prints in the size of 11 by 14, 16 by 20, 20 by 30, and you can get a custom show board built, but you can only get that in a 20 by 30 size. If you want to get a hold of him for pricing, it's Texas Rich at C10AmericaMagazine.com. That's Texas Rich, C10AmericaMagazine.com, and he'll give you the pricing and stuff. But this is mine. This is the article out of the magazine right here. My truck was in issue number 5, and this is the article right here. And I'll tell you what, man, this is a game changer for my truck right there. So if you're looking for a metal print or metal show board, get a hold of Texas Rich. That's Texas Rich at C10AmericaMagazine.com, and have him help you out so we can get that done. Other than that, it looks like we're doing okay on time and everything. So let's see here. Let's get into just a little bit of musica here, and we'll go from there. Let's see what we got here. Let's see here. How about this one? This one right here, ladies and gentlemen, is called Where the Prairie Meets the Sky. We'll be right back here. Hello there, baby girl. How is my girl Samantha doing, man? All the way from Las Vegas in the house, man. The Garbizos are listening in right there. But anyway, this is called Where the Prairie Meets the Sky. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Out where the tall grass bends in the wind and the fence lines run for miles, there's a gravel road that time forgot and a porch with weathered smiles. A pickup parked beside the barn, dust dancing in the moonlit night, and the world feels a little closer to heaven when the stars come out so bright. Out where the prairie meets the sky, where the red sun slowly dies, you can hear the lonely meadow larks as the daylight says goodbye. No city lights, no neon signs, just stars shining high. That's where a man can find his soul, where the prairie meets the sky. Granddad's hat still hangs on the wall by a nail beside the door. The stories echo through the wood of the days that came before. The wind still sings across the fields like it always used to do, and every mile of open land feels like something you knew. Out where the prairie meets the sky, where the red sun slowly dies, you can hear the lonely meadowlarks as the daylight says goodbye. No city lights, no neon signs, just stars shining high. That's where a man can find his soul, where the prairie meets the sky. There's an old dirt trail past the cottonwoods where the wagon wheels once rolled, where the cowboys rode the open range, chasing dreams and chasing gold. You can almost hear their voices in the wind that whispers by, still riding through forever, where the prairie meets the sky. Out where the prairie meets the sky, where the red sun slowly dies, you can hear the lonely meadowlarks as the daylight says goodbye. No city lights, no neon signs, just stars shining high. That's where a man can find his soul, where the prairie meets the sky. Some nights I sit beside a fire, watching embers fade to red, thinking about the roads I've traveled and the life I've always led. And every dream I've ever carried still lives out there somewhere high, drifting like the prairie wind, where the prairie meets the sky. Maybe someday I'll ride that road till the world just fades away. But till that day I'll chase the sunset at the closing of the day. And out where the prairie meets the sky, where forever seems to lie, where the wind knows every secret and the hawks still fly on high. If heaven's just a piece of earth, and I know where it lies, it's right out there beyond the fields where the prairie meets the sky.
There you go, where the prairie meets the sky, right here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music, man. I'll tell you what, I got a gentleman on here that's going to be in the car show, and he's doing what I love. He's out in the garage, he's wrenching on his car, and he's listening to the show, man. Tony Giannetta, glad you're on there, man. Welcome, welcome. Hey, and another thing I forgot to tell you, got a special show coming up. Me and my partner, Robert Haas, man. We are going to have a special show on April the 17th. Now, this is not we don't usually do a show on Friday, but this is going to be a special one, man. He's got a big mud truck show out there, and he's going to have his monster trucks, and he's bringing in Kevin King and BJ Johnson and Lindsey Johnson and all that. And after the show, we're going to do a special show right there from his compound, and everybody's going to be on, and we're going to talk, and you know, it's probably going to get a little crazy is what it's going to do. Just get a little bit crazy. But that's okay, man. Hello, Kevin Dickey. How are you, my brother? But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. And this is something that Robert wanted to do, you know what? And you know what? He's a lug nut, man. I got to take care of the lug nuts. You got my boys and my girls, man. So for sure, we're going to be doing that on the 17th. And make sure you mark that on your calendar, because it's going to be a great time. It really is. So you know, just make sure you make plans to attend that show of Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music. But like I said, the car show, man. Right now we're probably sitting at 22 entered in the show, and I've got room for 30 spots, and we're still 2 months away from the show, man. I'm not worried a bit. And even if we have some left over and it's showtime and it's the day of the show, we'll probably get some stragglers come in, and I know we'll get those 30 cars. But I am so excited to be able to do this show at my dad. You got to breathe while you talk. It's very important. Remember that. Breathe as you talk. But this is where my dad started his business, his car lot, back in the 60s. I think we were there from the mid 60s to the mid 70s, and he had the wrecker service out of there. He had the car lot, and then of course it was also the standard station, and that's where my truck is a replica to that standard station and a tribute to my dad. So I look really forward to having that truck there. I look forward to meeting new friends like Tony Giannetta and everybody. And Tony, if you and your partners come early enough and you come together, I'll make sure you guys get to park together. I'll make sure that happens. So, but you guys got to be there all in a row, because we're going to try to make parking go really smooth. So that's one of the big things. So make sure that you're there. But anyway, Kevin Dickey, I wish you was closer too, man. I would love to have the truck there for sure. So this next song right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is called Black Shadow. And basically what this is, you know, I thought I need to write a song about an Indian folklore horse, a wild Mustang that the Indians all talked about. And they talk about roping it, and the rope just goes right through because it's a shadow. It's a horse that lives on forever. So that's what this is about. This is called Black Shadow. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Where the mesas rise from the desert sand, old stories pass from man to man. Around the fire when the night winds blow, they speak of a horse as black as coal. An old Indian legend riders know from many long stallion, dark as the canyon shade, that no man's road has ever stayed. They call him the horse of the shadow, running the mesas alone, solid black in the moonlight, like a spirit made of stone, with red fiery eyes in the darkness, burning out on the plain. He leaves the wild herd forever, and no rope can hold his rear. Many riders tried with a rope in hand, across the river and desert land. But when the loop went sailing low, the rope passed through him like a ghost. They see him run when the moon rides high, red fire burning in his eyes. The wild herd follows where he goes, through dusty trails and canyon roads. They call him the horse of the shadow, running the mesas alone, solid black in the moonlight, like a spirit made of stone, with the red fiery eyes in the darkness, burning out on the plain. He leads the wild herd forever, and no rope can hold his rein. Some say that horse will never die. He's run those lands since time gone by. The same black stallion through the years, still leading herds through dust and fear. Still the horse of the shadow, running the mesas tonight, red fire burning in darkness, guiding the herd by his light. A dream for every rider, but he'll never be their own. That black shadow stallion, forever running alone. So when the desert night grows still, and the coyotes cry beyond the hill, listen close through the wind's low moan. You might hear the shadow running on.
Black Shadow right here on Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music. We'll be right back here, ladies and gentlemen, after this song right here. This is called Main Street Memories right here. You remember dragging Main Street there, Tony? Right there in Pueblo, Colorado. You better believe it right there. Here it is, Main Street Memories.
Friday night, small town glow, neon buzz and the radio low. Pulled up slow by the old car wash, just me and the boys letting time get lost. Shined up chrome on the parking lot lights, laughing loud, yeah, we on those nights. Picked up friends, piled in tight, windows down in the summer night.
Different songs, but we all wanted more. Headlights lined up, engines rev. Friday nights felt like heaven instead. Everybody had a name and a ride. Reputation on the line with pride. From the stoplight down to the edge of town, we'd lay it down when the sun went down. Yeah, word got around when the fast cars came. Every race out there made a name. Those were our Main Street memories, cruising slow through our golden years. Million miles on a two-lane dream, blacktop hearts and gasoline. V8 motors thundering loud, shaking glass all through downtown. Camaros, Mustangs, Mopar too. Everybody asking who's gonna rule. Girls waving, hey, take me for a ride. Young hearts burning under neon lights. Yeah, we didn't know just what we had, but looking back, man, it don't get better than that. Those Main Street memories. Double nights living rear view glass, faded just a little, but they still last. Every laugh, every turn, every street light glow, still riding shotgun in my soul. Yeah, those Main Street memories still running wild inside of me. Million miles, but I go again, just to be back there with my friends. V8 motors rolling through time, still hear that thunder in my mind. Camaros, Mustangs, Mopar pride, still hear echoes when I close my eyes. Girls waving like time stood still, and somehow deep down it always will. Yeah, we didn't know just what we had, but those were the best days we'll never get back. Those Main Street memories.
You know, Kevin Dickey, you are so right. Those were the best of times, man. I remember in Pueblo, we'd cruise Main Street, and I'll guarantee you what, if there wasn't 200, there was 300 people down there cruising their cars. Everybody came from all around and cruised Main Street in Pueblo. It was such a great, great time as a kid growing up. And you know, it was so much fun. I mean, God, we had a blast down there. I'll guarantee you right now. So this next song right here, if you guys are love to hear anything about you know, the Ford GT40 and stuff like that, Ken Miles and different things like that. If you watch Ford versus Ferrari, yeah, what a great show, man. And you know, I'm not a big Ford fan. I'm sorry, I'm not. I don't hate them, but I happen to like Chevrolets. And but I tell you what, I would drive a GT40. I would drive an Eleanor. I would drive a Mustang. You know, just depending on how total bad it was. You know, badass. You know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway, this song right here is about the legendary Ken Miles. This is called The Legend. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Man chasing the line, but the legend Ken Miles felt it every time. Grease on his hands, fire in his soul. From England roads to the race day road. Didn't chase fame,
Every turn, every shade, he understood. Turn raw power into something good. He didn't need a crowd to know, just a car and a road to go. Score to settle, built that machine out of steel and metal. But they said, hold back, don't run too fast, let the others catch, make the moment last. But Shelby said, let that engine breathe, wind it up hard, let them all see. 9,000 RPM tearing through the night. The legend Ken Miles was gone from sight. Way ahead, left them in the dust. Man and machine running on trust. Hear the engines cry, let the horses fly, foot to the floor as the miles roll by. Pushing the edge, living that line, steel and fire, running through time. No second guess, no compromise, just gritting gears and fire in his eyes. When the green light drops, he on that mile, a legend born in speed and style. Ooh, a legend born in speed and style. Ooh, oh, hey, yeah. They lined him up for a finish shot. 3 cars wide when he earned that spot. They took the win, but not the mile. The truth still rides with the legend Ken Miles. Hear the engines cry, let the horses fly through every turn as the years roll by. Pushing the edge, standing the test, gave it all, gave it his best. No crown, no gold, no compromise, just speed and truth that never dies. And even now, you feel that style. The legend lives on. Can you hear my? Yeah, you can hear it roar when the night runs wild. That ghost in the gears, the legend Ken Miles.
There you go, the legend right here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music right there. Hey, you guys, I seen a minute ago that my buddy, my best friend, one of my goombas, my paisan, and all that other stuff, Mr. Texas Rich is in the house from C10 America Magazine. Let's give him a big, big yahoo! There he is, Mr. Texas Rich in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you guys are liking C10 trucks, man, he's got a podcast that goes Monday through Friday, and it starts at 9 o'clock Central Time, and it runs for about an hour. And I'll tell you what, man, it's a cool show. So make sure you tune in, man, every Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning Central Time. That's 8 o'clock our time. And listen to my buddy Texas Rich from C10AmericanMagazine.com. He's also the one that does the metal prints that I told you about earlier. He's just a great guy. He really is right here. So, all right, let's continue on with a little bit of Ford music right here for the Ford people out there. This song here is called Mustang Fever. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
The streets caught fire. A brand new legend born from rubber and wire. Low stand shadow with a fighter's grin. Turn the key once, hear the storm begin. Long hood lightning, short back frame, every stoplight screaming out its name. It wasn't built just to roll, it was made to run. Detroit muscle loaded in a smoking gun. Feel that vibration climbing up your spine. Green light drops, now it's go time. Mustang fever burning in my blood. Hear those horses kicking up the dust and mud. Foot to the floor, let the wild run free. Every mile screaming who I wanna be. Chrome flashing like a midnight dream. Nothing alive feels this extreme. Mustang fever, yeah, it's owning me. Yeah, it's owning me. Fastback slashing through the midnight air. Drop top smoking with the wind's own hair. Four on the floor grabbing gears like a fight. Engines howling just to taste that night. From drag strip launches to canyon bends. Push you too hard, do it all again. Checkered flags are broken rules. Either way you're riding with the rebels and fools. Hands high shaking on a leather wheel. This is more than drive, it's how freedom feels. Mustang fever burning in my blood. Hear those horses kicking up the dust and mud. Foot to the floor, let the wild run free. Every mile screaming who I wanna be. Crow flashing like a midnight dream. Nothing alive feels this extreme. Mustang fever, yeah, it's on that night. Yeah, yeah. Feel the engines under, no place left to hide. Wide lines blur while the world goes wide. Gasoline, heartbeat, red line prayer. Leave you down choking in the rear view air. Some are born to follow, some are born to lead. Some are upward bound for Some are upward bound for Mustang fever. Let it rage and roll. Mustang fever. Mustang. 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 Final retires.
Mustang fever right there. Yeah, that'll give you some fever, man. I'll tell you that right now. Hey, guys, listen to some of the cars that we have coming into the car show already that are pre-registered. I got a 1967 Camaro, 4-speed, 454, bad boy, big block car. Got a 69 Chevy C10 long bed, 350 motor, just a nice old truck. 78 model C10 Big 10. 350 transmission, just a pale yellow stalker right there. Got a 73 Chevy C10 step side, 396 big block with a 700 R4 and a 12-bolt Positraction rear end. Got a 67 Chevy Nova with a ZZ4 383 stroker motor. Got a 2002 S10 Extreme step-side with a 5.7 stroker producing 1,000 horsepower. Man! A 1937 Chevy Rat Rod with a 402 small block in it and a blower on top of it. I got a 59 Beetle that's lowered and stretched. I got a 57 Chevy station wagon. I got a 79 C10 with an LS swap 6.0 motor in it. And I have a 1940 Lincoln Zephyr convertible. Let's see here. We've got a 1964 Bel Air wagon with a 6.0 LQ4 4L65E transmission, powder-coated frame, loaded up, custom bushings, custom steering, third row seat with the back windows facing, man, I'll tell you what, a cool one. A 1968 Bel Air Bel Air Sport Coupe. And then I've got a 1968 Chevy Camaro SS with a 396 automatic in it, man. And that's just some of the cars. That's just some of the cars that are coming to the first car show that I'm going to have at my dad's place. And I am so excited, man. This is going to be such a great time. We're going to just have so much fun at that place, man. And I just, if you got friends and they're in the Colorado area and they're close to Pueblo, tell them, man. Just tell them, say, come on down to Rollers, man. We got a good show coming up right here. But our next one up here, we've got this one song here. When I wrote this song, I wanted to pay tribute to Carol Shelby. But, every time you mention Carol Shelby, of course, it wouldn't write it because it's copyrighted. You can't use that. It's copyrighted. It's copyrighted. I'm so sick and tired of copyright. Anyway, so I kind of find ways to go around things. So I ask my dictionary of knowledge, what was some of Carol Shelby's nicknames? And one of them was Shell, and they use that a lot in Ford versus Ferrari. They call him Shell a lot. But the other one was Texas Cobra. And I thought, man, I'm writing a song about a Cobra. I'm writing a song about Carol Shelby. They fit. So this song right here is called Texas Cobra. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Out where the blacktop cuts through dust lived a man who believed in thrust. Didn't follow roads he carved his own, with a rebel heart and a will of stone. Engine screaming were his prayer, freedom ringing in the desert air. People talk but legends prove, some are born with nothing to lose. Texas Cobra, strike fast, strike loud, horsepower rolling like a thundercloud, steel and fire running through his veins, turning wild dreams into runaway trains. When that motor roars, you feel it over. King of the road, the Texas Cobra. Started with sparks and a fearless grin, said let the revolution begin. Took quiet machines and gave them bite, built them mean, built them right. Doubt came knocking, he slammed the door, then built something faster than ever before. Safe was never in his plan, he was gasoline wrapped in a man. Texas Cobra, born to run, chasing the horizon, racing the sun. Every mile left legends behind, proof that speed lies first in the mind. If you hear that thunder rolling closer, make way for the Texas Cobra. The Texas Cobra. He didn't just dream, he dared. Didn't just build, he declared. Song and fate, song the dice. The Texas Cobra, forever fast, ghost in the chrome of a fearless past. Turn the key, let the lightning start. You'll hear his echo in every hot rod heart. Yeah, the highway still leans him over. Long live the legend, the Texas Cobra.
There you go, the Texas Cobra right there on Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music. This song right here is a tribute to my truck. This is called The Tribute. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music.
She ain't polished up, she don't steal the light. Got a few rough edges from a long, hard life. Faded paint dents I can't deny, but every mark's earned, every scar's mine. Friday night engine shine and gleam, crowds walk past like they don't see. My old 73 Chevy steps side, that's all right by me. She might not be pretty, she ain't first place, but she's a tribute to the man who shaped my ways. I don't win car shows, never did try. Finishing her, driving her, that's my price. Yeah, this old truck completes me, that's okay with me. Build her slow with my own two hands. After work nights, every chance I had. Cold garage radio low, thinking about things he used to know. He worked real hard, busted his ass, wasn't always home, but I understood that. Roof overhead, food in the icebox, clothes on our backs, gave us all he got. She might not be pretty, she ain't dressed to impress, but she carries his work ethic in every step. I don't win car shows, don't need a name. Every mile I drive her feels like a win to me. Yeah, this old truck completes me, and that's okay with me. This truck's just like me, a little rough around, ain't real fancy, don't stand out in a crowd, but I show up, I stay true, built on hard work, passed down roots. She might not be pretty, she ain't brand new, but she's everything he poured into me and you. I'll take her anywhere, any road, any day, turn the key and it all feels right. Yeah, this old truck makes my day. I'm happy to say she's mine. My dad is always riding with me. My old 73 stepside, still ruling, just like his pride he instilled in me.
There you go, right there. That definitely is a song, a tribute to my dad and my truck right there. You know, and this next song goes out to all the guys and all the girls out there that has got that patina paint job, man. You know, we're just kind of like in a niche of our own, you know. We ain't exactly pretty, but we ain't exactly ugly. And you know what? Patina is not a color, it's a history right here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Sun bleached hood under a western sky, faded red where the years rolled by. Every scratch came honest, never planned. Grease-stained dreams in a working man's hands. Coffee cold, wrench turned slow. Midnight oil where the barn lights glow. Ain't no shame in the wear you see that steel's lived a life just like me. Patina's not a color, it's history. Every mile's a story, yeah, true patina history. You can paint it up, make it shine like new, but you'll cover up the truth that's been through. Patina is not a color, it's history. Bench seat cracked from 1,000 rides, back road dust and a passenger side tailgate dents from a loading day. More than metal, it's the price we pay. Hand-me-down keys, an old man's grin. Son, don't erase where you've been. That rust ain't right, it's memory, holding tight to who we used to be. Patina's not a color, it's history. Every mile's a story, yeah, true patina history. Chrome don't talk and gloss won't stay, but scars still speak at the end of the day. Patina's not a color, it's history. They want it smooth, want it factory clean, like time never touched a thing. But life don't run on a showroom floor. It leaves its mark, then leaves some more. Patina's not a color, it's history. Every mile's a story, yeah, true patina history. If this steel could talk, it'd tell you why. Pride don't fade and truth don't lie. Patina's not a color, it's history. Let it wear, let it show. That's the life we chose to know.
Guaranteed, patina is not a color, it is a history. Guaranteed, for sure. All right, let's see here. What's next? What's next up here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music right here? Let's do this one right here. Yeah. All the girls think my C10 is sexy. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Got her washed up Friday, sun going down. Chrome on the bumper, tires turn loud. Blue neon glow under an old bench seat. Radio crackling out a hometown beat. I roll past the diner, hear my name. Small town eyes know that sound again. Keys swing low, engine humming steady. Yeah, the night says I'm already ready. Dust on my boots, smile on my face. Main Street lights set the pace. All the girls think my C10 is sexy. Hanging out the windows, yelling, hey, come get me. Laughing too loud, hair in the breeze, turning every head when I ease through the streets. It ain't just me, it's the way she rolls. That old square body got a hold on their souls. Friday night lights, C10 is sexy. Saturday rolls in, same old town, but it feels brand new when I roll around. Parking lot stories, tailgate laughs, cup holders full, time moving fast. They lean in close just to hear her idle say, boy, that truck should come with a title. Bench seat smiles, hands on chrome. Every mile feels a little like home. Engine talking, speakers loud. This old truck draws a crowd. All the girls think my C10 is sexy. Hanging out the windows, yelling, hey, come get me. Laughing too loud, hair in the breeze. Turning every head when I ease through the streets. It ain't just me, it's the way she rolls. That old square body got a hold on their soul. Saturday night, and the moon shines ready. Yeah, all the girls think my C10 is sexy. She ain't fast, she ain't new, but she knows how to steal a view. Little rust, little shine, whole lot of trouble on the county line. All the girls think my C10 is sexy. Camera phones out, swear they wanna text me. Heartbeat thumping with a kick drum beat. When I roll slow down Main Street, engine cooling as the sun comes up. One last song, one last cut. If loving a truck is something risky, I'll take that ride. 'Cause all the girls think my C10 is sexy.
There you go. All the girls think my C10 is sexy. Hey, guys, there's nothing I like doing better than building songs for somebody about their special ride, man. If you're interested in any of these songs or having a song made about your ride, I can make that happen for you, man. Just get a hold of me at jeffrichards327 at gmail.com. That's jeffrichards327 at gmail.com. And, man, I can get a little information from you, and I can do it in the genre you like. I can do whatever. I've got an exclusive CD on my buddy Texas Rich C10 America, and it's 26 songs just about C10 trucks, man. And if you got a C10 truck out there and you love them C10s, that's a cool CD, man. It's 26 songs. It's probably close to 2 hours worth of music. And you can put it in the garage, man, or drive in the car or wherever, man, and just listen to it. And it's got good songs, it's got happy songs, it's got sad songs. It's just all about the love for a C10 truck, man. So if you're looking for something like that, get a hold of me once again, jeffrichards327 at gmail.com. We can go ahead and hook you up. If you want some of these CDs on some of these songs I'm playing tonight, you know, I can make CDs. I can do all kinds of different things, you know. So just get a hold of me once again, jeffrichards327 at gmail.com. Now, if you're a racer and you're getting ready to drive and ride and go fast and maybe break speed records and all that, there ain't a one of us that don't get in there and say, okay, baby, please, God, just help me make this thing stick together and help me beat this record. You do a little praying. So what I did is I made a song called Praying Before I Hit the Red Line. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
The sun's barely up on the edge of the track, steam off the headers, dust on my back. I zip up the suit, pull the gloves on tight, hear my heart beat over engines, fire alight. Crew standing quiet, they know this part, when noise fades out and it's just my heart. I lay my helmet on the seat beside, take one deep breath before the ride. Hands still shaking but my mind's at ease, just a borrowed moment down on my knees. I don't need poetry, I don't need a sign, just a little piece before the green light shines. A simple talk before the run is through, not fancy, just honest, you see. I'm praying before I hit the red line, let me push it hard, Lord, but keep it right. Let the motor sing, let the timing be true. Build those RPMs, but don't let them break through. Watch over me at the edge of the fight. I'm praying before I hit the red line. Think about home and the ones who wait, a worn out driveway, screen door late. Every bolt turned, every late night plan, this car's more faith than steel in my hands. I don't race angry, I don't race blind, there's a thin line between glory and time. I know where the danger likes to hide, that's why I don't cross it, I ride it with my hand on the wheel and my foot held light. I ask for wisdom more than mine, just enough courage to toe that line, and the sense to lift when it's the right time. No big words, just what is true, not fancy, just honest, you see. I'm praying before I hit the red line, let me push it hard, Lord, but keep it right. Let the motor sing, let the timing be true. Build those RPMs, but don't let them break through. Watch over me at the edge of the fight. I'm praying before I hit the red line. When the lights come down and the world goes still, it's faith and throttle and my own free will. I don't need saving from the speed I love, just steady hands and a watchful eye above. I'm praying before I hit the red line, let me leave it all but come back fine. Win or lose, let the lesson shine, respect the edge and the warning sign. If I cross that stripe at the end tonight, I'm thankful I stayed on the right side of the red line. Engines cool down, stars come out, another answered prayer I don't talk about. I hang my suit, wipe my eyes, grateful I listened when it was time. I'm praying before I hit the red line, let me push it hard, Lord, but keep it right. Let the motor sing, let the timing be true. Build those RPMs, but don't let them break through. Watch over me at the edge of the fight. I'm praying before I hit the red line.
There you go, praying before I hit the red line. Buggin' Racer, what's up, my brother, man? It's good to see you back out of that cold shell that you've been in, man. I'm glad to see you on here, my brother. I'm glad to see you on. Tonight, guys, we got Jay Bogart. And Jay is Monster Truck Man. He built this truck by himself. And, well, he probably had help. But, I mean, this is his design. And it's not your average monster truck. Basically, it's a truck body on a big monster truck frame. And he's done a great job with it. He does some stuff with it at Bigfoot and different things like that. And it's just kind of become a legend in its own name, man. So I look really forward, and the Blue Ox is the name of it, of course. But I look really forward to that. But you know what we got to do? We gotta split the show in half right here. So we're gonna start the opening all over again. We'll be right back here, and we'll be hearing from Jay Bogart, and he has the Blue Ox monster truck right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. You're listening to Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music. The show where horsepower, stories, and great music come together. From beautiful collector classics, to fire-breathing race cars, to the ground-shaking thunder of monster trucks. This is where the world of motors meets the power of music. So strap in tight, fire up, and grab your favorite cold drink, because a ride is about to begin. And now, here's your host, Roller.
There you go, man. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. I hope you liked the music of the first part of the show, man. Looks like we're going to have a good time tonight right here. Hey, I got the beer. We just opened up the beer garden here, and I got these three rowdies. I don't know how I've acquired them, but I think I've adopted them. But they're down here, and they're having fun. Mezzanine's full. It looks like a sold-out crowd. I never did get any numbers. How many people? Get that number to me as soon as you can. I got to know. But, all right, let's just cut it off. There you go. All right, let's see here, guys. Guess what? Yeah, guess what? We have a new Rise and Grind commercial. Yay! We don't have to make apologies no more. We'll be right back here after this word from our sponsors.
Need to pick me up to start your day. There's a place in Parker that'll get you going. Rise and Grind Coffee has bold espresso, strong coffee, smooth lattes, plus chai teas and cold. Smoothies, regular or decaf, whatever you're in the mood for. Hungry, grab a hot breakfast burrito or a fresh muffin, quick, simple, and ready to roll. Got something coming up, any event or party you're planning, they've got a portable coffee cart that brings the coffee right to you. Fresh drinks served on site. Local spot, good coffee, good people. Rise and Grind Coffee, fueling your day, one cup at a time.
Hey, Lugnuts, take a look at our new partner, 69 Graphics and Design, a small design and marketing company big on personalized service. They work close with you to get your business noticed with graphics that stand out and get attention. 69 Design focuses on stickers, decals, and graphics for your hot rods, custom projects, or business marketing. 69 Design also includes logo design, brochures, signs, business cards, banners, custom apparel, vehicle graphics, and much more. Remember, that's 6 and the number 9 Graphics and Design, or go to 69design.com or find them on Instagram at 69design. There you go, guys. There you go. Rise and Grind Coffee. Thank you there. Boy, I got Carter and Debbie. They are on it tonight. They are putting up all kinds of commercials and stuff. Debbie, you're doing your homework. So is Carter, man. That's exactly the company right there. They're such a great deal. They put out their show schedule. They have a show throughout the year, the summertime months and stuff like that, and they put out their show schedule. I'll have that all printed off for you next month, or our next show, and tell you where they're going to be and stuff. But they're just a great bunch of people, man. They really are. Well, I'll tell you what. It's a little early, but hey, we always bomb them a little early, don't we? We always bomb them a little early. Let's give Jay a call, and we'll find out what he's up to, man. We'll see what's happening with my buddy, Mr. Blue Ox himself, right here. Hold on just a minute. Hold on there. Let's see. Is it going to work? I think it's going to work. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, Big J? How you doing, brother?
Real good. Am I coming in clear?
Oh yeah, you're coming in loud and clear, man. Loud and clear. We got a lot of rowdies on here tonight, Jay. I tell you what, it's a crazy crowd in the house, man. It's a crazy crowd. Are you
I
ready for
know.
these crazies?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
We'll
well,
answer any questions or anything, but we'll tell a story a little bit.
oh man, I love stories, man. That's what this whole show is all about. It's about not necessarily the truck. We want to get into the truck and stuff like that, but we
Yeah.
want to know the backstories of what Jay does and how Jay became a monster truck man, and just the road to where you are today. So that's what we're going to get into right here, long, hard, and fast. So, you know, uh,
Okay.
Blue Ox is a pretty cool truck, man. There's
Yeah.
probably a
Thank you.
lot of trucks out there that people don't even hear about because they're not on a national circuit or anything like that, but they're just as capable of putting on a show or putting on a display that most people go to,
Oh,
or
big
different
time.
things like that. So let's talk just a little bit before we get into the Blue Ox. Let's talk about Jay first, man. Let's find out what happened with Jay when he was a little boy that got him interested in the motorsports business.
Well, I appreciate all that. Yeah, I try to stay humble here, but
That's all.
and
This is
we're
your
not.
time, bro. This is your time.
Yeah, we're definitely not making it big time yet. But I started off with when I was real young. My parents noticed, I love cars and trucks and stuff, and my dad obviously is a fan too.
Uh huh.
But he dabbled with what he could afford growing up, just like anyone else, and
Uh huh.
uh, not like you know, uh, but he got us kids, me and my sister, into go kart racing at a young age.
Uh
Like I
huh.
was 9, and that was great fun. We did that for a few years, and then it was pretty interesting. We did a few years of that, and I'm a big guy.
Uh
If
huh.
you see me, I'm 6'7", over 400 pounds, and I got a little big for go kart racing by the time I was like 11, 12. So we started. It was pretty neat with the fabricating stuff because you got to fabricate if you're going to build this stuff.
Right.
And my dad, we decided we are going to try to build our own dune buggy
Uh huh.
right in the garage at the house, but we only really knew go karts. So we did a pretty neat job. I still have it, never really finished it because it never really buffed out like we thought it would. And, um, it was kind of made all go kart parts. But from there, got into high school, and or as I was growing up, I really took an interest in Mopars. I like Dodges and Dodge trucks, and my kind of saved up money, and my dad found a nice '96 Dodge Ram, which was pretty new at the time when I was getting my license, and it was already lifted and stuff, and that was my high school truck. I loved that one, and then I started dabbling a little more. Like, hey, if we want a cool truck, you kind of have to build it yourself. You can't just pay someone to do it. I mean, you can if you're lucky enough to be able to do that. But
Hmm.
so we bought an old uh, kind of a '88 Dodge Ram, or what were they called? Ram W 250 then,
Uh huh.
and built that up. Put a nice 8-inch lift on that. That was a lot of fun. And then ordered right out of the mail. Like first big thing we ever ordered on the mail was a set of 35-inch boggers,
Wow.
which aren't that big. 35s are big, but not that
Right.
big. But these things, we bought them in their 16, or were they were crazy wide, so they just were pretty massive when they just show up rolling out of the truck. So that was
Uh
pretty
huh.
neat. Um, but that truck was awesome. I had a lot of fun with that, and then eventually worked my way up and found a friend of ours that had built a mega truck. It was a red '78 Ford F-250, and I purchased that. It was already built, uh, but it was well known in the area. It was known as Rusty. Um, just always kept that name, even though it's not Rusty. But it was put a lot of time into that. Had that for a long time and learned a lot from
Uh,
trying to keep that thing running.
right.
When you're in the mud, doing the mud bog and stuff, boy, that keeps you really busy because the mud just destroys U joints and seals and everything as you play with it.
Of
And
course.
So certainly learned a lot and changed things. But started kind of losing interest with that field. Plus, we're here in southern Wisconsin, and Wisconsin keeps getting tighter and tighter. They really like their environmental stuff and
Yeah.
keeping,
Welcome to Colorado too.
yeah. And obviously, I agree. You want to keep nice properties nice, and so I kind of hopped over to the car world. I picked myself up a 1966 Plymouth Belvedere, and
Wow. Cool.
it
Very cool
it was
car.
rough, but luckily it wasn't real rotted out. But I don't have the money to like restore anything, so it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. Whatever. I decided I want to make it look like a stock car,
Uh-huh.
and which I think I achieved that. But it's always been street legal, and I kept working on that. Eventually, my dad helped me put like a really kind of pretty nice interior in it. Like
Uh-huh.
it doesn't have a real headliner, but he made a headliner out of like wood panels, and we covered it with vinyl, and it actually ended up looking really racy. It looks cool, and it's just paint. It's literally the whole car is just spray painted. It's spray painted flat black. I
Uh,
put Plymouth in the rear quarters, so that looks racy, and then I put gold 60 number 66 on the door.
all
I
right.
just got like a nice vintage look,
Right.
and uh,
Was there a reasoning for the number 66?
oh, just that's the year of the car.
Okay. All right. Well, that's
And,
cool. Yeah.
and when I got it, it was an old drag car that raced at Coles County Dragway in Illinois. I think it's still open,
Uh-huh.
and it just said Pro 66 on the windshield, and I liked the font of that, so I
Uh-huh.
copied the font and just put it on the door. So that's the only reason.
Well, that's cool
And
though, man.
yeah, and I drive it a lot, like even on the streets. Like I'll do car cruises and stuff, even though
Oh, wow.
I, I built a nice big block, a 512 cubic inch stroker,
Oh,
but
wow.
so it's a big block Chrysler. I didn't convert it to LS or anything silly like that.
Uh-huh.
But um, and we even do a lot of burnout contests there for quite a while. The Mopar's got a lot of torque, and that's
Yeah, they
really what you
do.
want burnouts. So, and these burnout contests will pay out if you find them. So
Oh, do they really?
yeah. Um, so that kind of leads on to where I went to Milwaukee area, which is Washington County Fairgrounds, and there's Motor Mania. They haven't done much lately, but maybe they'll come back. This John, our friend John, is running it,
Uh-huh.
and he doing this big show, burnout contest, everything. I think he had like $1,000 to win this burnout contest. It went up from there in later years,
Uh-huh.
but he he putting money into the show, so he had big indoor areas and everything at this fairground, and had hired in the original Bigfoot
Oh,
and
wow.
like the vintage Showtime monster truck, and
Huh.
I've always loved the vintage monster trucks. That was
Oh, yeah.
like,
They are my
cause that,
favorite too.
yeah, I mean that's what you grew up watching on
Guarantee. Yeah,
TV.
exactly.
That's what I did,
Yeah.
and went there just to check them out. And by this point, uh, well, I guess the back pedal. I mean, I guess I'll be flopping everywhere.
That's all right, man. I flop everywhere too. Even on the floor when I lay down, I flop around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flip flopping back and
Flip
forth. Yeah.
flopping, that's right.
But yeah. So, um, went to the show to do that burnout contest. Also, they had the monster trucks on display, so I obviously wanted to see those. And met a couple of friends there, this Jim and Judy, that are real awesome friends, and just met them there, and they just took to being really good friends with them ever since. And talked to this Jim for a little while, and turns out he used to help um, the Kodiak monster truck, um, Mark Bendler,
Uh-huh.
for a while, and when he was young, and so it was just kind of neat hearing his stories. And then by this time, I had already started building the chassis for the monster truck because I had picked up uh, a failed monster truck project. It was a bullnose Ford, and some young kid that was ambitious, like must have bought the truck. I think he bought it and just took all the good body parts off it. And he
Uh-huh.
had, when we came to pick it up, he had some beautiful trucks he was building, but they were all street trucks. So this was just like a rolling chassis with a cab on it. And but it had the 5-ton axles and some really nice re-arc leaf springs under it. So I picked that up. I don't remember how much, but it was a good deal. And I didn't know what I would do with it, whether I'd use that chassis or whatever. But once we got into it, or once I got it and looked at it, it was, they tried to beef up the stock frame and everything, and
Right.
that's not. It was kind of done. They didn't know what they're doing, and
Sure.
not like I know what I'm doing either.
Well, but you might know a little bit more, it sounds like.
Well, and you just learn by observing. But
Well, sure you do.
I, yeah, so I decided, well, I'm just gonna go and start with a straight frame rail, and I just like that idea because um, other trucks I seen, and I just thought it looked clean. And the goal was to make a vintage monster truck because that's what I like. Even though this was, I don't know, late 2010 or something, started doing that, and started assembling this just right in the garage by my house. It's just a 2-car garage, and I didn't know, we're just starting there. I don't know what I'm going to do for a body even yet. I knew I was going to build a Dodge because that's what I like, but
Right.
I always kind of knew I'd do I also like short trucks, standard cab, short box,
Sure.
and so just went from there. Used the leaf springs and axles, and started building off a frame. We just using sawhorses and stuff and shims. We just made sure it was square, and I decided to pick out some 5x3 rectangular tubing that was 3/16 wall, I think. I don't even remember now for sure, but that and people ask specs all the time, and it's like I can't remember all the specs.
That's
Worked out.
you can just make
Yeah.
it up as you go, They won't know the difference.
Yeah. It, it it's amazing. I'm not a monster truck historian, even though I'm a fan.
Uh-huh.
There are some amazing people, which later on we met at the Hall of Fame and everything. Just these amazing, even young men and stuff, and they're just so knowledgeable about the history. But
Who was some of the trucks that you liked when you were young that growing up? What were some of the names of the trucks?
obviously, huge Bigfoot fan.
Of course.
I really, I really liked Jim Cramer because anytime I was watching old Bigfoot stuff, it was always Jim Cramer behind the wheel,
Yeah.
and it was really cool later on to meet him. But otherwise, like I really liked Excalibur, how the chassis worked and everything.
Uh-huh.
I like their design. It like that's how I did mine with the least, or at least I got the least spring inspiration from them.
Uh-huh.
Because like if you look at Bigfoot, the swing shackle for the leaf spring is in the back. So when they run like a front ladder bar, the suspension as it compresses, it's got to come back a little bit because
Right.
you're flattening out that arc, but your solid point is on the front, so it's going to come back a little as it goes up. So then they have those, like hydraulic rams that they modified. So then it would still put some structure there, but a lot of times you see them like they put a valve on it or whatever, so it could transfer fluid slowly or whatever to absorb a lot of that shock when they hit a car. But if you looked at like Excalibur, they had the swing shackles on the outsides of the frames. So like as a suspension compressed in the front, it would, front end would go forward and up. And I just liked that then they were able to run a solid ladder bar and the suspension would still move. And so it's just little piddly things like that I would pay attention to do. And I really appreciated the engineering behind it. And that was just direction I wanted to go. So like that's the reason I did my suspension that way. And uh, what else? The always like it was cool to see them Showtime. They rebuilt that, but
Right.
like these amazing monster trucks back in the '80s, they were just straight up show trucks, and yet they'd still go out and run them real hard. That was really cool.
It really was, and I became we were down in Lake Charles doing a show one year, and got a chance to go down and see Southern Sunshine and Cajun King,
Oh
and
yeah.
they they had been sitting in this shop forever, and Glenn and oh God, Matt Ison and Sean Green and everybody, they worked on these
Hmm.
trucks and they got them all back into shape and they sold the Cajun King, which was the Cadillac, of course, but
Yeah.
Southern Sunshine, uh, it was just such an awesome feeling to see that truck. I finagled it to where he got to come in for the show and bring the flag in and stuff, and that was the first show that this truck had been at in, you know,
Oh, okay. I did see that online. That was
from
really cool.
forever, and it's Lake Charles, Louisiana. It's Monster X Tour, so you imagine you could probably find it on there. But
Yeah.
anyway, we got to have him come in, and of course Glenn was driving and stuff, and his brother Mert owned the truck, and it was just a really touching moment to be able to see the hard work that they all did to get this truck back to life, and watch it come in the door. And it was just part of the history of the truck, man. And that's more of the era like me, I grew up in the same era, and these trucks were these trucks were definitely show pieces, man. I mean, it was
Yeah.
interiors and chrome, and it's just like last week we had Bobby Holman on, and
Yeah.
Bobby was like, man, it was all about who had the coolest bumpers and the coolest chrome and air
Amazing.
interior and everything, and it's just the truth, man. I mean, it was
Yeah.
that was what it was. That's what monster trucking was back then. And then, of course, Bigfoot, it takes it to the next level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these guys would polish them up. Bigfoot always looked amazing, but
Yeah.
like I had extra appreciation because I don't have the willpower or want to tear a truck back down after you build it. But yeah, these guys they paint the frames as smooth as the bodies, and then the bodies are all custom made as well. Like geez, it's so much work. It's
Oh, it
amazing.
is, but it's worth it, man. I mean, at the end, and
Yeah,
that's true with anybody that's a hot rod builder.
definitely.
The long hours in the shop, the nights, the afternoons, the early mornings and stuff. But when it's done and you're sitting back and you're looking at it and it's all cleaned and stuff, it's just a sense of pride, isn't it?
Oh, I bet. Yeah, and well, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel good about my stuff, but my
Well,
stuff is
sure.
nowhere near that level.
Well,
So
but I'm sitting here looking at pictures of it and stuff like that, man. And number one, kudos on the body style for the Dodge, man. I love that body style. That body style is probably the best looking body style, even compared to the new ones today,
yeah,
that they ever made. I mean,
well, thank
it's
you.
just a beautiful body style, man. I love the big grill on it and the rolled fenders and stuff, man. And then of course, keeping it a little shorty and stuff. That's pretty cool, man. It really is.
That's style I love. And like technically the truck itself is a 98 Ram. So we're not really the body isn't really old enough to call it a vintage truck, but the whole chassis and everything is just a leaf sprung chassis and straight rail frame. So that's kind of at least puts us in the ballpark of a vintage monster truck.
Right.
Obviously it's a new build, but yeah, that's the type body style truck I had in high school. And it's just I've always loved it, and I always loved the blue.
Yeah, I'm a blue fan myself, man. I really am. But
Yeah,
the it's cool to be able to say number one, I have a love for monster trucks. Number two, I have a love for these Dodge trucks, and to have one combined into two
yeah,
different trucks that you're like, yeah, man, I've got my high school truck here, and I've got my monster truck. So ha 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 ha.
yeah, yeah. This truck wasn't my high school one, but I did drive this truck on the street for many years before I decided to use it for a monster truck body. So
Right. My buddy Sam Ditto's in here. Hello, Sam Ditto from Oklahoma. Anyway, so you do I seen you had like a show scheduled, didn't you, or something? Did I see that here the other day?
yeah,
So
we got a pretty
talk about
packed
that
already.
show
I
schedule.
can't believe it.
Well, that's all right, man. That
Yeah.
now the truck might be paying for itself. That'd be kind of nice to get some of your money back, huh?
Well, we're not we built it not even thinking about making money with it,
Right.
and we charge a little bit for these shows, but it's mostly we want to do them, and it's just the setup, to haul them, and the time and labor. You show up to a show, it's like 2 hours to set it up, and you got 2 hours in tear down because you can't transport it with the 66s on it.
No, not at all. Mm-mm.
So, so it's nice that all these shows and that it's just we're flattered that they're willing to pay us a little bit of money, at least cover some of our costs to come to these shows. But we're definitely not making money. We're that big of monster truck fans that we just love it.
Right.
So we're just flattered to do it. And we started off, we're doing a bunch of just like we would just bring it. Like I'd call these shows and be like, "Hey, I want to bring my monster truck to your show and show it off. Is it okay? We got a whole truck and trailer and it's an ordeal." And then obviously they'd be like, "Yeah, that'd be great, thank you." And we did enough of those where then they actually wanted us back, and then we were able to start charging a little bit of money, and or they didn't really even ask for money. They just kind of sometimes they'd see all the labor that is most of the time it was just me and my dad showing up. And also when we first started, like I was talking about this Jim and Judy, which are good friends of ours now, they would show up and help too. So we got a couple of great friends like that. And but then they'd offer us a little money, so that was great. And but it's evolved into now where I had quite a few of these car shows lined up, but then I started explaining to them, like if you go on my page, you can see a little reel or videos that I share where it's just two cars and we're parked in like a grassy lot or anywhere, and then we just simply do like I call it an old school dealership style crush
Right.
monster.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you can so we got quite a few of these shows just set up where they're going to have a couple of crush cars for us. So we'll be on display all day, and then at one point of the show, we'll get to run over a couple of crush cars. And you can't expect a lot from us because we're just an old school truck, but that's the great thing about it is we're not high flying and landing on the cars and making parts flying. We're just simply popping up on top of them, crush them down, and people watching from the side, you're just going to be standing there. And it's when you're just standing at ground level and you watch a truck pop up on top of a couple of cars,
Yeah.
it's a different experience than when you go to a big Monster Jam event where you're up in the stands looking down on these trucks, which it's amazing. I love modern trucks too. That's
Right.
technology and all that. Don't get me wrong. That's an amazing show. But it's a little different experience. And, I actually usually try to work out a deal where, hey, get some crush cars there. You give me an even better deal for us to show up because I want to do the car crush.
Sure.
It's so
Right.
much fun for me, and then it's really cool. I don't know, helps. I think makes a better show.
Well, it does, man. I'm looking at a picture of the truck here, and you don't even have the tires shaved down or anything. The lugs are still full lugs and everything, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. So my truck's completely how it would have been old school. So my truck, when you get in it, it's a full interior. Everything works in the truck. The motor is completely stock because
Uh-huh.
we do it all through gear reduction. So it's reliable. It just fires up with the key. The air conditioning works. The radio works. Everything works as it should. So,
Awesome.
uh, except for the rear steer remote, the interior looks totally normal.
Right.
And like pretty much anybody could drive it if you drop a truck into gear, if you still know how to run a column shift truck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep,
Exactly.
just drop it in gear. It's automatic.
So the cool thing about this is you're not buying 55-gallon drums of methanol and different things like that, man. You're running
Yeah,
on pump gas, and
yeah,
you can take and go down a parade route and go to a parade and enjoy the parades, and the kids love to watch it and stuff, and then
yeah,
plus, not to mention, go out on a Sunday and go to a mud bog or something like that, and just have a blast, man. I mean, that's what's cool about it. I like it.
yeah. Appreciate it. And that was the whole idea. It's like just something I can use, and it is a lot of fun. We're definitely not a modern high flying monster truck like you see
Sure.
at the awesome shows. But like last year, I don't just from doing the Motor Mania shows in Milwaukee area, we got like hooked up with uh, with Jeff Kickler. I feel bad. I can't pronounce his last name. I hope that's nearly right. That owns the High Roller 2 monster truck.
Uh-huh.
And he kind of he has a lot to do with the Bigfoot guys, and I think he's pretty much in charge of the old school exhibition crush they do at their open house these
Right.
last quite a few years.
Uh-huh.
And so in 2021, our first show was up there in Milwaukee because we just brought our truck to it as well because he was doing the um, had the a bunch of big time vintage trucks there, and Jeff got us in, or invited us to the open house, and so that was an amazing connection we made right away. It was just kind of a dream come true to do that show, be invited to that right away,
Hmm. Yeah.
and then from there too, we ended up um, John that run that Motor Mania also hooked us up with talking to Jeff Cook at the Hall of Fame, and we ended up
Yeah.
doing Hall of Fame shows and been friends with Jeff ever since. And
He's a great guy, ain't he?
oh yeah, oh my God, and a workaholic.
Yeah, he is.
Man, I, I hope he's getting a lot better. He sounds good, and he's just I'm sure that kills him that he's always laid up these days.
Yeah,
'Cause,
that's the truth. And we did a show with him here a while back, and
yeah,
he's ready. He is really ready, and I think that I talked to a good friend of mine that was in. We did a lot of monster truck shows together in my career. His name's Don King, and he had
yeah,
several different monster trucks and stuff. And I think we're going to try to go to the Hall of Fame this year, or at least we're going to plan on it, and
awesome.
try to get up there and see it. And I would hope that maybe one day. Don was a good entertainer. Don did a lot of things in the monster truck business, and he drove barefoot for a long time, and really did a good job with barefoot.
Yeah,
He had Torquezilla. He had the General. And Torquezilla was an amazing truck, dude. I'm serious.
awesome, amazing truck.
That truck
Yeah.
was just totally amazing. And
Mm.
I would love to be able to see some of these guys like Don King and that get into the Hall of Fame because they definitely deserve a spot in the Hall of Fame. And I would think that Hall of Fame, and I don't know all about it, and maybe they do, but it would be nice to have a part of the Hall of Fame where they had the old trucks where guys like yourself that's out there maybe one day for everything that you do for the monster truck community and the old school about keeping the old legends alive and stuff that you are
Yeah.
inducted into the Hall of Fame. I mean, it
No,
would be nice to see stuff like that, man. I mean, I
oh
think I
no,
think it could be so much bigger. And I mean, don't be humble. I mean that this is a cop. I'm not trying to pat you on the back
no.
or anything. It's just that you have built something that is definitely show worthy, and why not, man? I mean, if you make a good contribution in the world, it's
Oh,
just
that's
like
great.
I have a friend. We became friends here in the last month or so, and I believe he's on here tonight. His name's Robert Haas, and Robert
Mm.
he builds some mud trucks, and he's got a couple of big monster trucks. And
Yeah.
dude, I mean, you guys are part of the backbone of the monster truck community, man, and it's
Oh,
just
that list is long. Yeah,
yeah, it is long, but it
definitely.
but it should be there should be a division in there that allows you guys to be in something like that. I mean, how
Mhm.
cool would that be to say that? I'm in the Monster Truck Hall of Fame and be there for life, man. That's pretty spectacular right there. I'll guarantee you that right now.
Oh, it's just great to be involved and try to help them out anytime we can.
Yeah.
And I'm happy I'm not one of their because they have a whole board of people that do this voting and they write up essays and it's very complex to induct somebody into that Hall of Fame. So
Uh
it's
huh.
taken very seriously. And there are just so many amazing guys through the years that it would be so tough that anyone newer like me into it would ever be considered for that because there's so many guys that are going to need to go in there first
Well,
that
sure.
we need to honor those guys. They're getting up there in years or whatever. But I mean, it's a tough decision for them every year, and they work hard at uh, making these decisions to induct a guy into the Hall of Fame, and they do a great job. It's amazing. And then the I last year was the first year that the last Hall of Fame induction was the first year I made it there, and I was just impressed. It's it's obviously super professional, but like just so well put on, and they're really honoring everybody that they're inducting, and just so many legends show up there
Yeah.
that to to uh to just be present. It's like, to me it would be a big deal. Like I would advertise that, like, hey, like, it's cool. Like Everett Jasmer's there and he's helping out, and like, and all the Bigfoot crew was there. Uh, Probably most of their help was there. Um, yeah, I can't even remember all the names. That was a really cool event, and
How
I
does it?
encourage anybody that wants to go to the Hall of Fame. It's like
Yeah.
it's worth the trip. Make a special trip just to visit that place.
If you're a monster truck fan, I have to believe. I've never been, but I'm going to go, and I hope it's this year. And
Yeah,
I really am excited to see just the history of all the history they have in there. I asked Jeff Cook on the show the other night. I said, in
yeah.
the back there in the shop, I said, "Do you got a broom closet?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, on the back side of that door, is there anything on it?" And he goes, "No, I don't think so." I goes, "Well, just save that for me, would you? Because that's about the best spot that I could pick, that I would, my contribution to it would be." But that's that would just be a total honor. It really would here. So
Oh yeah.
Carter, we have a young lady on here named Carter Chiffon, and she wants to know: have you ever uh, you get like butterflies? Have you ever been scared the night before you go do one of these car crushes?
Oh yeah. I guess you get. I call it being anxious. Like
Right.
I'm excited to be a part of something, like to do an event, and just the anticipation kind of drives you nuts and makes your belly, yeah, you feel butterflies and stuff. But it's not like I'm nervous. I'm just excited to get to play with the truck, because even though I own this thing and built this thing, I don't have a lot of property of myself to just run it around and have some fun. So
Sure.
it's a real pleasure anytime we get the thing tired up and get to crush some cars. It's not that common of a thing for me to get to do. I've
Right.
been blessed where luckily this year our schedule's filling up and we're going to be busy this year
So
doing lots of car crushes.
so
But
talk to me about this schedule, man. How many dates do you have
oh
booked?
yeah,
What do you got booked on it?
looks like we got about 18 dates.
That's
I'm looking at it
amazing,
right
dude.
now. Yeah, already pre-booked, and that doesn't even count like last year was amazing. We got like in with the um, Monster Truck Nitro tour guys and like Monster X guys, and if they were in the area, a lot of times we get like kind of like just a week's heads up, and they're like, "Hey, would you like to come to our show?" And Mike Fonder, that works for them and does all the announcing. He's a great announcer,
Uh huh.
and would call up, and he liked the angle of, and plus he's a supporter of the vintage monster trucks and everything.
Sure.
But then I could show up and just kind of show people, it's like, hey, this is where monster trucks kind of started, where the it's really cool. You see the truck where it's an actual pickup truck, so you can kind of relate with it a little bit. And then you see the new trucks, and then they put on, it's a full blown Monster Jam style show, and you just see the kind of the evolution of where they started versus what these amazing machines have turned into now, where they can fly 30 feet into the air and land on flat ground, and
Yeah.
not devastate the driver, like, and drive away and keep and do it again, and it's just the modern machines are crazy.
Yeah. I
But
think Bobby Holman said the other night, back in the day, if you had, I think he said 6 or 7 inches of travel, or 9 inches of travel, or something like that. He said you
yeah.
had something back in the day, man. And now look at the travel they have.
Oh yeah, I mean, now they're measuring feet in inches,
Exactly right. But you need it for everything. We're talking about monster trucks that are going 30, 35, 40
Yeah,
feet in the air, and
and
landing.
landing on flat.
Oh, it's crazy. It really
Like you
is.
watch motocross guys fly through
Yes.
the air and everything, but they're landing on a down ramp,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you know
exactly.
These monster trucks are landing flat, and they somehow soak it up.
Right.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So what was it like being there with your truck at the Bigfoot open house, man? I mean, that's got to be because
Yeah.
you're there in front of Bob Chandler, number one. You're there in front of, and back in 23, Dan Runty was still around. He was there.
Yep. Yeah.
Larry Swim, he was there. And a lot of other drivers that were there watching and stuff like that. What does that make you feel like to be there? Number one in a
Oh,
Dodge, but to sit there and perform for these guys that are
yeah.
doing these big tricks and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. What an amazing opportunity. So happy we got invited to that, and we've done it since 2021 every year, and we're invited back this year.
Awesome, dude.
The Bigfoot open house is what's the date on that? Oh, I got my list here. What do we got? Well, anyways, I can't see it right now. Maybe I left it off the list for some reason. But yeah, that was so cool to meet so many of the Bigfoot drivers I remember watching on TV, watching the Penda Point Series days
Yeah.
when those were some real hot rods. Those guys, lightweight monster trucks with, back then, what they had to have been churning 2,000 or more horsepower
Oh,
in a
easy.
lighter chassis because
Yeah.
then they weren't planning, it would survive a wreck, so the driver wouldn't get hurt. But if you rolled the truck, it was busted up. It wasn't just flipping back up. So because they were real racing trucks then. So that's another history step in the monster truck world. And
Guaranteed.
and yeah, so like, it was cool to meet a lot of those drivers, and then Gene Patterson, which was like Snakebite, and
Yeah.
obviously drove a bunch of other trucks. But the Bigfoot open house was actually the first time I crushed cars with the Blue Ox, and I was a little bit nervous. And Gene gave me some really good advice before we ran the cars over.
Uh huh.
And just basically, the main thing is to hit the cars and keep moving, get over the cars. So because if you think about it, when you get up on top of the stack of cars, and then even if you're going off to the side, if it's natural to just kind of panic and stop, and then your truck would settle, and then it would like slowly could roll off of the side or whatever, and so it just makes sense. Well, if you just keep moving and kind of steer into it, if that was to happen, you're more likely to be just fine. But the truck is 12 feet wide as well as 12 feet tall, so it's not like real unstable. But yeah, it's just cool to get really neat advice and just talk to these people right up front. They're normal
Guaranteed.
people. They'll
Yeah,
talk
they
to
are.
you.
Guaranteed. They really will.
You can just walk up to these guys, say hello, and they're so good at talking to people. I'm just so amazed with that. Yeah, you can have a full blown conversation with any of them. They don't blow you off or nothing.
Right. Mason's on here, and he says he thinks that the Bigfoot open house is June 13th.
Oh, thanks, Mason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he thinks it's June 13th. But anyway,
Oh, here it is. Yeah.
what's the top speed on the truck?
Yeah. My truck, like it's only comfortable at 30 miles an hour, my truck, but
Okay.
I'm running, like you said, they're not carved tires or lightened up. They're old as well, so not like they're perfectly round anymore.
Uh huh.
So my truck about 25, 30, it starts walking around. It's pretty wavy.
Uh
It's
huh.
capable of much more speed. I imagine you could get up to 50 miles an hour just
It'd be a
fine.
drive though, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Be a
yeah.
handful.
With nicer round tires, it would probably be just fine at a little more speed. But
Right.
yeah, that's what my truck is. It's just an old school build, and it's even though it's a stock 318, a lot of people are always blown away that
I
I'm
was
running.
just getting ready to say that.
Yeah, so many people are always blown away by it. They ask all the time because it sounds healthy. I do have a nice set of headers on it,
Uh huh.
and just some short exhaust with some glass packs that shoot out the bottom,
Uh huh.
and it gives it a classic monster truck sound. But it's what, a 318 in 1998 was probably 230 horsepower.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And always
it,
run about a quart low on oil.
yeah, yeah. And but what I always realize it's gear reduction. So off my back of my transmission, I have a this box that's essentially half of the married transfer case. Like, you know, a normal pickup truck would have a transfer case that's bolted to the back of your transmission for the front drive, and you have a low range inside that transfer case. Well, this is like half of that transfer case, so you don't even have the front output anymore, and it's just the low range unit. So I have that low range unit coming off the back of the transmission, so that's like 2.5 to 1, and then a short dry shaft to the transfer case, which is, I was running a 2.5 ton military transfer case, which was about 2 to 1 low range as well. And then there's your drive shafts off of that that drops your drivetrain down to your axles. And then I feel bad. I always forget what the ratio is in a standard 5 ton military axle.
Uh-huh.
I can never remember that number, but it's over 5 to 1 low range in your axles. And then, so that's how you can turn those 66-inch tires. That after it goes through all that gear reduction, the truck's geared lower than it ever was stock. Like, you know, like a drag racer going down the drag strip, you run a set of 355s, and then you do your time or whatever. But if you go home and change your gear ratio to a nice 410 or 456 or something, you've got that get up and go off the line. Your car suddenly feels way more powerful, right?
Right.
So that's basically to just a whole new extreme we're taking it to run these 66-inch tall tires with only 230 horsepower, and it feels peppy. Like when you drive it, it pins you back in the seat, but
Well,
it's
that's fun though.
just gear reduction. Yeah. So that's why I'm so impressed or I'm so not impressed, but really happy with how well our nice short wheelbase truck, I can just drive up to a set of cars, it's just no dirt ramp, nothing, and just stand on the throttle just before I hit them, and it'll pop the front end up in the air and crawl right up on top of them like nothing.
Wow.
It's
Will you
it's
ever
working out great.
maybe build a real Blue Ox monster truck? I mean, yours is real, don't get me wrong, but I mean a
Like
competition
a
truck?
modern one.
Yeah, like a modern one.
No, I don't see us ever going that far. I'm not that interested in doing that. I'm definitely, like I said, a big guy, and
Uh-huh.
I would want to drive it, and that would probably be real rough for me when you're as big and heavy as I am. And then, I can't afford that. I just work a normal job, and I don't have that much ambition. These guys got so much ambition that to run those things every weekend, even if
Yeah.
you owned it already, like the amount of work that goes into getting that truck ready, it's just, they've been doing it so long, they might be used to it, but they're working hard. And I'm 41, but I'm already kind of used to the easy life here, and
For
that'd
sure.
be hard for me to motivate myself to do that. I mean, I'd like to think I could do it, but I'm not too worried about that, because yeah, I don't see me ever going after and being able to afford a modern style uh, race truck. So, I mean, these guys, they got to know about the motors, because it's not like they're running a stock motor. They got to know about these blown alcohol motors, and there's just so much knowledge. And it's just amazing because when we get invited to these shows with those guys, sometimes it's just the one guy that shows up with his truck, semi trailer, and the whole setup. He tires it up himself, tunes it
Yeah.
up, gets it ready. It's just one guy working his ass off to do this. So
And it is,
yeah,
and then especially he's really happy if when he's done over the weekend that everything goes back into the trailer like it came out. But
yeah,
sometimes you get out there and you start competing with the big boys, and then all of a sudden now you've taken and broken your truck, and a little bit harder
right.
to put it in the trailer by yourself. But the good thing about the monster truck guys is there's always
Oh,
somebody there willing to help you and get your stuff because they don't want to leave nobody behind.
oh no.
And it's pretty
And
cool
sometimes
that way.
those guys bust them up, and they got a show the next day,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
sometimes later that day. Like sometimes they do 2 or 3 shows a day. Like woo. But
I've seen that happen. I've been there and
yeah,
been a part of it. I mean, that's
yeah, that's right. You have been.
I worked. Don King came here to Denver one year, and I wasn't announcing the show. He was working for. Oh God, I can't remember the guy's name. No, he was a big promoter, and he was
Yeah.
doing the show after we got done. But anyway, Don broke a rear end, and that's nothing. But I had to help him change it. And I mean,
That's
I'm
great.
mechanical, but I'm not mechanical enough to get in there and have it done in so much time, that we got to get ready for the next show. And boy,
Yeah.
that's a hump and bump right there, man. Guaranteed for
Mhm.
sure.
And like you were about, saying that the monster truck people are just so nice. It's amazing how they do. They want to help out the next guy. They because it's only going to help the show that they're putting on if all the trucks are there running. And
Right.
also they just know the pain, and so they want to help them get them back
Oh
going
yeah,
again.
guaranteed.
And
So have you ever had a close call?
uh, yeah, I only had one where I was gonna do a show a couple hours away, and the night before, my steering knuckle broke, just loading the truck up. I didn't think I'd do it, but I ended up getting it thrown together, and we got up early and went up there. But like for me, yeah, we never go real nuts, so we luckily only thing I was breaking were some dry shafts. I was running pretty extreme angle with only that tune ton transfer case.
Uh huh.
But I've been laid up with a broken foot lately. But before I broke my foot, we got this different transfer case that has 20 inches of drop. So once I get back on my feet here, which hopefully by next week I will be, I'll get that done, and it's going to be wonderful. No more of that issue,
Sure,
It's much
guaranteed.
better drive line angles now.
Right.
But yeah, and like speaking of nice people, like even this Mason here at the he, we met. He one of these super fans, and him and his family drive long distance to watch monster trucks. But you know, he's just a young kid, and he just hung around, and then we decided he looked interested. So I was like, hey, you want to bolt these tires on, or help shove them around, and all this stuff. So there's just so many people we've met doing this kind of stuff,
Sure.
and yeah, like and Mason. So just saying, hey to Mason, get him a shout out. He helps us out once in a while. That's pretty
It's
awesome.
good. It's and then, you know what? There's been a lot of fans that started out just helping, and
Yeah,
their career took off, and they became drivers and everything else.
yeah,
So keep up the good work, Mason. Maybe you'll get onto
yeah.
a team and make your dream come true for sure. But
Oh yeah, the
so
hard work. You never
yeah,
know what it takes.
no,
Yeah,
because somebody, it's just like I had a friend of mine on. He's an announcer for Monster X Tour, and he said he woke up one morning and he said he was next to Sammy Sturgis, and he got out and helped Sammy and stuff like that. Well, he
yeah, it's
all of a sudden he's in the monster truck business. He's announcing, he's building tracks, he's doing all that. So,
yeah.
it's pretty cool that it happens that way. So, well, I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, we're right at about the 8 o'clock hour, and
Oh, that was fast. Yeah.
I think we ought to play that song. What do you think?
Oh, I'd love to hear it. I appreciate that.
Oh, no problem, man. No problem. I'm glad you liked it. We'll be right back, guys. We're gonna let Jay get a little break here for a second, and we're gonna play Jay's song. This is called "Built but Not Bought." It's about the Blue Ox monster truck. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music.
I was a kid in the grandstand seats, watching those monsters on flotation feet. Old school legends, crushing cars, big tires thundering under the stars. That first V8 shook my soul. I said one day I'm building my own, stealing sparks and a welder's glow, dreaming of a truck racing go-karts at 9 years old, learning speed and learning control. By high school time, the mud flew high, Dodge Ram trucks and the bog pits wide, turning wrenches every night, chasing horsepower and dirt track fights. Every busted knuckle, every bolt, built the road to the Blue Ox Road. Blue Ox Thunder, built from steel, handmade power you can see and feel. 66-inch tires and an old school sound, built not bought when the hammer comes down. From a two-car garage to the stadium lights, wheelies and car crushes on Saturday nights. Every welding bar comes straight from the soul. That's the heart of the Blue Ox Road. Early 2000, mud flew high. Rusty the Ford made the dirt pits fly. 78 F250 big block roar. Mega truck thunder shaking the floor. Truck pulls next with a Dodge Ram ride. Street legal steel and horsepower pride. Then came the enduro days and the fight. Monte Carlo racing deep in the night. Fabrication sparks in the early days, learned to craft in 100 ways. 76 Ram Charger, bright orange steel, 4-link suspension dialed and reel. Built a big block cruiser for the street parade, burn out smoke everywhere we played. Rally cross dirt and the crowd yelling loud. Never built a machine just to sit around. Blue Ox Thunder, built from steel, handmade power you can see and feel. 66-inch tires and an old school sound, built not bought when the hammer comes down. From a two-car garage to the stadium lights, wheelies and car crushes on Saturday nights. Every welding bar comes straight from the soul. That's the heart of the Blue Ox Road. 2018 brought a Charger ride, vintage stock car racing side by side, till the motor blew and the smoke rolled black. But another dream was already on track. Started that build in 2020, two-car garage, but the grip was plenty. Welder sparks in the midnight air, built that chassis with my own two hands there. Plasma cutter singing through the steel, every weld made that dream more real. From frame rails down to the traction bars, Blue Ox born under welding spars. Blue Ox Thunder, built from steel, handmade power you can see and feel. 66-inch tires and an old school grind, built not bought by a working man's mind. From Motor Mania shows to Hall of Fame nights, running with the heroes I watched as a child. 18 shows and the crowd still roars. Blue Ox Thunder forevermore.
There you go, man. Blue Ox Thunder right there. Hey, Bob Post,
That's
thank you.
awesome.
Thank you so much, Bobby, for those kind words. I appreciate it. Hey, guys, we'll be right back here in a minute. We're talking to Big Bad Jay Bogart right here with the Blue Ox Monster Truck. After these words from our sponsors, we'll get back to the conversation. We'll be right back.
Hey, lug nuts, need a pick-me-up to start your day. There's a place in Parker that'll get you going. Rise and Grind Coffee has bold espresso, strong coffee, smooth latte. mood for hungry, grab a hot breakfast burrito or a fresh muffin, quick, simple, and ready to roll. Got something coming up, any event or party you're planning, they've got a portable coffee cart that brings the coffee right to you. Fresh drinks served on site. Local spot, good coffee, good people. Rise and grind, coffee fueling your day, one cup at a time.
Hey, Lugnuts, take a look at our new partner, 6ix9ine Graphics and Design, a small design and marketing company big on personalized service. They work close with you to get your business noticed with graphics that stand out and get attention. 6ix9ine Design focuses on stickers, decals, and graphics for your hot rods, custom projects, or business marketing. 6ix9ine Design also includes logo design, brochures, signs, business cards, banners, custom apparel, vehicle graphics, and much more. Remember, that's 6 and the number 9 graphics and design. Or go to 6ix9design.com or find them on Instagram at 6ix9design. All right, guys, we're back. We're back. Thank you to our sponsors. We appreciate you. We couldn't do this show without you. And we hope that we make you guys proud. So, Jay, I'm gonna have to send you a pedal to the metal motors and music sticker. And man,
I love it.
if you'll fly it somewhere on the truck, that would be awesome.
Yeah, stick it on the frame rail or something where
Yeah,
people see it.
wherever you can, man, that would be great, man. I'll send you a
Oh,
couple
I
of them.
love that.
But what do you think of this new era of monster trucks that are out there? What the stuff they're doing? What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, these modern trucks. It's like we were talking about before. How just these things. It's the amount of engineering and technology have gone into it over the years. How they can fly through the air, and then just land on flat. That's the biggest thing that amazes me. And also how the drivetrains can hold together. They're making those tougher all the time. Um, yeah, there's just so much into them. Isn't that wild? You know.
Well, I mean, they're doing things with monster trucks now that, I mean,
Oh yeah,
the
with the
law of physics doesn't really says how do you do that. I mean, you
oh
take a
yeah.
motor like you do a front stoppie, you take that truck up on its nose, and
Oh, that's
all the
great
oil
stuff.
goes to the other end of the motor. I mean,
Yeah,
so now you're away from the pickup tube, so they've designed something there to help that out. But I mean, it's just, I mean, the tricks that
yeah,
they're doing and stuff. I talked to Bobby the other night, and I told him, I said, Bobby, this they just perfected crashing is all they've done. And that's
yeah,
about
yeah.
it's the real truth, man. I mean, how many monster truck drivers back in the day come over a jump and landed on their nose, and either they stopped and went
Mhm.
back down on all fours, or they went over. I mean, these guys are doing
Yep.
this on purpose now.
If they do, and they're love putting on a show, and that's kind of goes back to what I was saying, like the Penda days when they were just straight up racing them. The trucks were getting well under 10,000 pounds, but now the trucks are getting heavy again, just with the amount of reinforcement they're putting back into it to survive these basically planned accidents in a way. You know, there not too many people these days. I don't think are actually like, oh, I'm going to land on my roof, but like they just accept it's going to possibly happen, but they're going to try to that funny bounce. They're going to try to ride that into a bicycle on two wheels on the side,
Yeah.
or take advantage of that bounce. So then they're just walking on their front two tires, and just to have the balance and the frame of mind to, you got to remember that guy's thinking, grabbing for that shifter while he's leaning forward and trying to go to reverse from drive and back and forth, and there's a lot going on in that moment. And I doubt they can practice that too often. They probably practice it by putting on the show, in the
Well,
moment.
I know, like the Monster Jam, they have Monster Jam University, and
Yeah,
you got people
yeah.
teaching these kids these tricks and stuff, and they learn to master them, But still,
Hmm.
that's it's
That
like
monster jam is its own element.
yeah, it's like riding a wheelie on your bicycle when you were a kid. You
Oh,
had to find that perfect spot to make it all work. And how
Oh,
many times did you fall and tear your knees up and scrape your hands up and do
yeah,
different things like that? You know, I mean, it's amazing. I'm just in awe. I just hope that everything holds up as far as the safety factor of it and stuff, and none of
yeah,
these young people get hurt because some of the tricks they're doing are really they're very
yeah.
very dangerous, very dangerous, man.
And it like I remember hearing the technology with the like seats. For a while, they were trying to do suspension seats where the seat would like move underneath you. It's
Right,
like suspended, try to save your back. But like they're so extreme where that suspension wouldn't move enough because you need to be in that seat so like it would bottom out. It would actually stun your back. It would actually hurt you.
yeah,
A suspended seat. So like these days, that seat is solid mounted hard, but like what they've developed now are the belts that go around them are actually, they got like quarter-inch ratchets on the end, so they're ratcheting you down like tight into the seat. So then I think from my theory of what I'm looking at it is like they're treating that seat as now like a backboard or
right,
whatever to support your back, so hopefully your spine doesn't compress at all. Like they're always developing safety things, and it's always getting better. Um, but yeah, these guys are they. Yeah, I think the real time when you're going to get hurt is obviously with more speed and more air time. Luckily those stoppies and stuff like that. If they do roll over the front end, it's a little slower roll at least. Hopefully it
right.
doesn't hurt them too bad.
Yeah, that's
So that's
true.
the only one good thing about those skill tricks like that.
Yeah.
So
Do
it's just
you
different.
do you remember a monster truck by the name of Big Dummy?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
You know, and
the
he was
stand up one. Yeah.
he was a motocross racer,
Right.
and he built this truck. And this is for the folks out there. This man
Yeah.
decided he was going to build a truck that worked off of like you're riding a motorcycle, and he had a harness inside. And I
Hmm.
mean, this thing had foot pegs in it and a shifter like a motorcycle, handlebars for a steering wheel, and stuff like that. But it didn't last too long because it was just too severe
I wonder. Yeah.
of a ride,
Because
you know. I mean, because he was actually like kind of floating around in there with this harness and stuff, and it just it was a wild concept, but it just for doing some of the stuff that we were doing at the time, just
it was a really neat idea. Like,
it was a somebody had to
yeah,
try it, right? Yeah.
yeah. Like you might as well. Like, hey, you're riding a motorcycle. You're standing up. You got your legs to take the shot. I mean, it makes sense, but then just unfortunately, when you're inside that cage,
Yeah.
you just don't. You can't be moving too freely around in there because then
No,
you're
no,
bouncing
not
into
at
that
all.
cage.
We got
So.
a good friend of ours on here right now. His name is Scott Chisholm. You know Scott, don't you?
I suck at names. Maybe I met him. Yeah.
Scott's been in the monster truck business for a lot of years, man, and he's he was notoriously for chasing announcers. I don't understand what the deal is. I still can't figure it out. He said he was for love, but he always used to chase the announcers up the big dirt hill, and he got a
Oh,
kick out
okay.
of doing it. And being a little guy like myself, and not really skinny, it was hard for me to climb up the big ramps. We used to make some big ramps, man, but Scott always thought it was funny. Guaranteed. Hold on, let's see what Carter's asking here. Has he ever had an
Oh
announcer
yeah.
turn his truck off because they thought he was about to crash? Well, Carter, see, the thing is, baby girl, he does more of a display kind of. He don't actually get into the show itself. I mean, his truck is more of an exhibition truck than anything. So you don't even have an RII in there, do you?
I actually do. I do
Oh,
have
do you?
RII. Yep. Yeah. Luckily, I've never been in a wild enough situation where they've required to shut me down. Um, but we do a few safety things to try to be on top of that stuff, so we can put on a show. And probably an old school truck. It would be more likely for me to bonk my head on something
Yeah, of course.
and possibly knock me out and be on the throttle than probably a modern truck. So yeah, we do at least have that RII.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. And
And I do remember Scott. Hey, Scott.
yeah, he said barefoot. He's from
Yep.
barefoot. He drove
Yeah, we
barefoot.
got to do a few shows with him. Man, another really
Yeah.
helpful guy, really friendly too.
And
He's a great guy.
of course, there he is. See, he's still laughing. He thinks it's so funny that he was chasing me up. I still have nightmares, Scott. I still have nightmares of you. No, I don't. I love him, man. I really do. It's just we've become such close friends, such a good family, man. And when I retired, he shows up in lacrosse and like sneaks up behind me, and there he is. And
Oh,
I'm an
yeah.
emotional guy anyway, man. I really am, and I wear my emotions on my sleeve. And
That's good.
it was a tearful moment right there. I'll guarantee you that right now. And because plus I had my family that was from up in that area. They were there at the show and everything like that. So it was always good to see him and his lovely wife.
Oh yeah.
I still don't understand what she sees in him. I don't know. I'm gonna have to
Oh,
talk to Robin.
you're good old friends. Giving each other a hard time. Yeah.
He was on my show.
Oh,
We talked for God. We talked for 3 hours. But you know, that's just the bond
yeah.
that you build. You know, I mean, we've already done over an hour, me and you, and we've never seen each other eye to eye. You know, but
No.
there's a bond there because it's the monster truck bond, and it's just
Yeah.
great. You know, like that. Let's see, Jay had Rod and Brandy Schmidt and myself going crazy when Jay put up over a
Yeah.
van in Wisconsin at the fair. Do you remember
Yeah.
that?
And so, like I said, those that series they were running in, they were inviting me to do these shows. And yep, Rod Schmidt has the Redneck Rampage, and
Yep.
Brandy, his wife, was she running the Monster Patrol, that
Yep.
classic Monster Patrol. And yeah, Scott was running barefoot. And yeah, they're so supportive like that, cheering for me. And it's just me and my simple old school truck. But I remember this trying to get up over this little van stack. Had a couple of vans, and um, oh, no, there was a couple of times. I don't remember which one exactly, but yeah, the Stoughton crowd up here, which is almost our hometown uh, show. We got tons of love up there, and it was just really cool. You could hear it from the cab of the truck when I finally got up over these vans. I gave it like 2 or 3 shots
Haha.
before I finally got up over them. And yeah, just people went nuts. It was really cool.
Right.
And yeah, when you're meeting these people at these big shows, they really make you feel special, and it's so cool. Just everybody's there to have a good time, and everybody's got such a positive attitude.
Sure.
It's wonderful.
Now,
And to bring that up, like I just want to give a quick shout out to my couple of young guys that I met at the Hall of Fame while we were retiring up. Bradley and Andrew, or Anthony. Sorry, I screw up names all the time.
that's all right, man. I mess up
And,
my own.
oh, they know I screw up their names all the time. I probably call them the wrong name all the time in front of them. But they're so nice, they don't correct you. And I just wanted to give a shout out. They're a good example of they just show up. They don't expect anything. They don't want anything. They just want to help. They want to be involved. And they started helping us. And so then they started showing up just to help us do these other shows. They drive hours away from uh, Green Bay area just to do these shows. And then uh, they met these other guys, like they met Rod, and they met Scott and all that. And then that ended up being where they actually got hired by them guys, or at least Rod hired them a couple of times, or invited them to come help them out do other shows. And it they got a pretty neat story in their own, where they're kind of doing the thing where you never know where it'll take you. You just be
You,
nice and
that's the thing. You don't.
show up. Yeah.
You,
So just wanted to give them a shout out.
well, that's cool, man. That's good that you pay homage to people that's been there to help you and stuff like that. You know, because
Yeah.
without that help, sometimes it's just tough to keep plugging on, man. Sometimes you know you
Yeah.
like, man, I'm burnt out today. I don't feel like it. And then all of a sudden here you got two young kids that are willing to help you out, and you're like, you
They've been
better
amazing.
you better
Exactly.
believe you could help me for sure.
We want to keep them happy because we want them to come to all our shows. And I think they're
Exactly.
planning on coming to quite a few of them.
Oh,
And
that's
that's a
awesome.
long drive for them. And it's on their own dime.
Wow.
And they just want to be there. So they're amazing. Actually, kind of gave Bradley the reins to organize our first event on May 3rd in Green Bay at the MWTC Auto Club Car Show. So he's done all the contact and talking and organizing that whole thing. So he's stepping up, and it's just kind of fun for us to, hey, I don't mind if I can just show up and with the truck, and he's got it kind of organized and planned out, and we just don't have to worry about that end of things. Where I don't know, it's pretty cool. I'm
Right.
excited about that
Well,
first
good.
show.
Will you ever maybe put a bigger motor in Blue Ox?
Maybe one day. Like I like old school big black Mopars. I wish I could have a Gen 2 Hemi. That'd be
Oh,
awesome. But
I'd put
I
one
don't
in
have
my
that kind of money.
I'd put one in my Chevy pickup, man. To be
Yeah.
honest with you, if I could.
But the wedge motors, they don't, there's they don't cost that much to build. I think that's a funny stereotype how like, oh, they're too expensive to build. If you're gonna build a big horsepower motor, you're gonna have some money into it.
Sure.
Whatever brand you choose to go with. But so anyways, I like a big black Mopar. I would love to build a big black Mopar and get it into that truck just for the like a big thumping cam sound value
Yep.
would just be cool to have. But so far, I certainly love on those hot days having air conditioning in the cab and
It's kind of
all
nice.
that. And to incorporate all that along with a big motor would be a little bit tough to probably keep belts on it, all that, all the complications that go with a lot of horsepower, yet trying to have these nice amenities as well. So I
Sure.
don't see me building much power into this truck.
Uh-huh.
It would be amazing to build another old school truck. I would love to do that. I just don't have the money.
Right.
But if I don't know, stars align and we got the right opportunity, maybe somebody wanted one built and I had the time to do it. I don't know. I'd love to build an actual old school bodied truck. Like I like the short trucks. So like I really like that old Skull Bandit truck that was
Oh
blank.
yeah, yeah, that's a good looking truck, man. I do.
Wouldn't that be
I
silly
have
to
yeah.
rebuild something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
I like that.
Guaranteed for sure. Yeah,
That'd be cool.
I of course growing up when I first was a kid and got into it, that was what was out there. So now you naturally you follow. I mean, it's just like I'm a big drag racing fan. I mean, I love the cars today. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah,
there's nothing better than listening to an old cackle fest with a bunch of old front engine, top fuel funny cars, or I mean,
amazing.
rail cars and stuff like that. Man, I love it. I just when I go to these car shows and there's an old school dragster there, and they do a cackle fest. Oh man, it's music to your ears. It really is.
Oh, man.
It's
I
amazing.
haven't been to too many shows, but yeah, that's got to be really cool. So like they just bring one of those cars and they just fire them up for the show. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
especially like good guys. The good guys here, and I'm not sure about all the good guys, but the good guys up here in Loveland, they'll
Yeah.
come and they might have 7 or 8 old school funny cars, old school
Oh,
dragsters, and front engine dragsters and stuff. And all they
I'd love
do
to.
is they fire them up, and they call it a cackle fest. And they
I
just sit
bet.
there, and they'll be running, and all of a sudden they switch it over to nitro, and the flames start flying up in the air and stuff like that.
Nitro's
Those
amazing.
guys, of course, the guys today. I mean, they're going over 300 miles an hour now, but
Oh,
back then, especially those old front end engine dragsters, those guys, they were
yeah.
sitting with their legs over the rear end.
Yeah.
I
Isn't
mean,
that amazing?
that's there's some parts there that you sure don't want to get hurt. And I'm not talking about the car either.
No,
So that rear end blows up.
it's a
You're in trouble,
shrapnel.
man. You're in trouble, man.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that got hurt over it and stuff. But like all
Yep.
things, technology comes around, and thank goodness there's people out there that got a lot of money that help make things a lot better and stuff like that. So yeah,
I
but
can't imagine having your legs wrapped over a differential with 2,000 horsepower in front of it.
no, I can't either, man. And
That's
then plus another,
incredible.
you're going to they were doing quarter miles back then, and it's like they're smoking the tires the whole way down. So you're really not having a lot of traction. You're just sitting there floating down the track at high speeds. I mean that's crazy.
Oh,
That's why Don
yeah.
Garlits is still alive still to this day.
Yeah, that's a good point. Even to mention being in a rail dragster like that, just floating at that speed at the end of the dragster. That's
Yeah.
That's got to be scary in itself. Just
Guaranteed.
not only launching, once you get down there. Holy
Yeah,
cow!
it's crazy. So, who do you really think? Who's your mentor? Who's the one that you look up to the most in the monster truck world? I know
Oh,
you said earlier it was Kramer, but
yeah.
is there somebody else out there that you really that say? Let's just say this. Okay, say you got the opportunity to get a race truck and you were racing and doing good, and who would be the guy that you would love to go up against, whether he's retired or not? And you got to watch out for Scott Chisholm because he'll think it's him and he'll want you to drink green juice and stuff. No,
Oh, I was just gonna
that's a whole nother
say it
story
with
right
him.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But
I'd
anyway,
love to be running against Scott in a side by side run. That'd be cool. But yeah, I've already met so many of these great people, and Scott and Rod, and but yeah, even the old school guys, modern ones, like the Jim Kohler, their team's massive, but yet he's independent. That's awesome. He puts on a great show, and he's a great person. Um, there's just too many to mention. Like even the Andersons and stuff. They got their hands tied being in the Monster Jam as far as doing much independent stuff. But
right,
um, that's still I've never met the guy, but like he seems cool, and he's supported the museum in the past a few times. So um, there's you put me on the spot. I can't even think of people, but there'd be so many people out there. I would love the ride the whole way through, no matter who was next to you. You would just utmost respect, and then every once in a while you'd probably be surprised once in a while.
right. So
Um,
go ahead.
like this last summer, like it's always cool to even go to these smaller shows where there's four trucks or whatever. But uh, we were at uh, I forget in Wisconsin here, a small show, and there was the Virginia Giant truck. Whoever runs that now, and you walk up to the truck and look at it, and he's running an aluminum block Keith Black Hemi in that thing,
Wow.
and it's just holy cow out of nowhere in a sea of like big block Chevys because in the world of blown alcohol motors,
Yeah.
probably the most common things, it's probably the most serviceable thing for this guy to be going out of his way to run a blown Hemi engine, aluminum Keith Black, and it's cool to go to these shows and look at it from a mechanical standpoint and see all the differences. And it, I love that where it's just, and I love where somebody does something different
Right.
and they're making it work. And and obviously that guy, he's doing a show every weekend or maybe a couple shows a week. I'm not sure, but give him a lot of respect for going the added work to be running a motor like that, and it's just so cool to look at. And
Right. Right. Well, you got people like Alan Pizzo and Paul
yeah,
Schaefer. They were the kings of the Hemis, man. They loved the Hemis, and they still, I
they
mean,
still run them. Yeah,
Paul's not necessarily in it at all anymore or anything
but
like that,
Alan does.
but
Yeah,
Alan, excuse me, still to this day is
yeah,
Hemi powered, and that costs a lot of money, man. Those old
yeah,
motors,
it does.
they're not cheap, guaranteed.
That's so cool. And I just give a shout out to them guys that go out of their way to still run those things. It's like I notice, and I think that's super cool. And there's plenty of other people that notice and think the
Right.
same.
Well, anybody that knows a Hemi knows when a Hemi's out there, man. It just has a song and sound of its own, and
Yeah,
there's no mistaking it. You go, yep, that's a Hemi, all right. I know that for sure, guaranteed. But no, and then those old, the big blocks out there, the big block Chevys and stuff, big block Fords and
they're
stuff.
great.
They're great.
Yeah,
There's some good motors out there,
nothing
man.
wrong.
It
Yeah,
it
I'm
all
not
depends
like
who builds it.
biased at all. It's all
No,
good
no,
stuff.
not at all.
Yeah, I like them all.
Well, there's one question that I ask everybody,
Yeah.
and you might have listened to some shows and stuff, and maybe you've pondered on this, wondering if I'm going to ask you or not. But with your time behind the wheel of the monster truck and stuff like that, when you
Mhm.
decide that it's time to hang up the keys and get out of the business, what do you want to be remembered by? What do you think? What would you want to be remembered by as in the monster truck business? To not necessarily to the legends or anything, but to the people that you ran with. What do you want somebody to say? That Jay, he was. What would that be?
I don't know. I guess it would just be I want to keep a good image. I don't want to come off as an ornery guy or anything. Sometimes that can be difficult, and things aren't going right or something, and somebody walks up on you and wants to talk to you, and it's like, I'm sure we've all been there.
Oh yeah,
You get a little snappy at them, then you just feel terrible after you do something like that. But it's like, dang it. But I don't think I've ever been rude to anybody. But I guess just I'm sure people remember the truck. I'm already blown away with how much exposure we've gotten for for what it is. Like you're saying, you got a guy in there that in your chat here that builds a lot of like mega trucks, mud trucks.
yeah.
Those trucks are beautiful, and those guys got a lot more time and effort even than I do into my truck. Just my truck, I think, is relatable for people because if you actually walk up to it and look, you can see I hand cut out the metal with a plasma cutter. It's still a little bit rough on the edges, and the whole chassis, I just keep touching up with spray paint. I try to make it look nice, keep it nice. It and so I don't want to take anything away from those guys. Like you're saying, they deserve their own Hall of Fame of some type or museum, especially those guys, they tear them apart as fast as they build them.
Oh, guarantee.
And
And Robert, he builds pools all day long, and then he
like,
comes home
oh
and throws on his
yeah,
go work on the mud trucks clothes, and he's. I
so much
mean,
respect for these hardworking guys,
yeah,
man. They
yeah.
just
That's
keep going.
that's what it is, man. That's what it's all about. Well, Jay, I
Yeah.
tell you what, man. I I really, really appreciate you taking the time and being on the show with me and stuff. I find your story very interesting. I would love to have you back on the show to find out how your season went and stuff like that. And I thank you for telling people about me, and I hope you can continue to do that. I hope I made you feel
Yeah.
comfortable. I don't want to. There was
Oh,
nothing out there that I said that I was trying to
nope.
make fun of or anything like that. And because number
You're good.
one, you're a big guy, and I don't want you to wad me
Yeah,
up
right.
into a ball and then throw me away in the trash can. But
Yeah.
no.
Luckily, I'm not a violent guy. Don't worry.
No, but
Uh,
I tell you what, it's just a passion that I have for this show, and
yeah.
and it doesn't matter who it is. I mean, I want to give the little guy or the big guy as much attention as I'm allowed to give, and thank God I'm able to do this, and have this show,
Mhm.
man. I really think it's
You're doing a great job.
well. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I really do.
And I always I've been telling people too and encouraging them to go back in your history of your videos on here and your YouTube page and watch those videos. You've talked to so many legendary people already.
Right.
It's really cool. Good work.
Well, thank you very much, man. I mean, it's been a pleasure, and the thing that's cool about it is most of the people that I've had so far are people that I had worked with in the industry, and I can call them good friends, and stuff like that, and it's just nice to know that I have a friend that has an auction business here in town, and he calls him auction business Bigfoot, and he
Oh,
he knows that I do monster trucks. And one day he goes, if I ever got a chance to meet Jim Kramer, I would just
nice.
probably die. So
Yeah.
one day I called him up and I said, "What are you doing for breakfast on Saturday?" And he goes, "Well, nothing much. Why?" I go, "Well, why don't you come to breakfast with me on Saturday?" And he goes, "Well, why?" And I said, "Well, why don't you just come to breakfast with me on Saturday?" And he finally wide me enough, and I said, "Because you big dummy, I got Mr. Kramer himself coming to breakfast with us. You're going to get a chance to meet him." And
And then
he just
you
didn't know what to say,
oh
Eh,
you had him lost for words big time.
guaranteed, But it's
Yeah.
just that way, I mean, I'm being able to share my friends with, and it's not bragging. It's not bragging at all. These guys, it's just like Dan Runte. Dan Runte was my brother. Like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I never considered Dan was a monster truck driver. Yeah, he was one of the
Just so
great
sudden.
ones.
Yeah.
But he was my brother. He was my friend. I looked at him in a different light than most people do. You know, most people think, oh, Dan Runte, the monster truck driver. I no.
Yeah.
Dan Runte, my brother. That's who I thought of him, you know, as and stuff. But just
Yeah.
that's it's just that I'm glad to be able to bring this to him, and now I can say that I bought my big brother in the house, Mr. Jay Bogart, and I'm glad you guys got
There
to
you
meet
go.
him, man.
But I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. And you got my friend Mike gonna be scheduled too, huh?
Yeah, Mike is going to be. Let me just double check here. Mike Johnson's going to be on the first, April 1st, man. So
Yeah, you'll love talking to him. He's got great stories. He's a good talker, man.
yeah, I told him when I called after you gave me the phone number and stuff. I called him up and I said, "Well, I
Yeah.
kind of checked on you a little bit, and I said I really like how you come up and you say, well, I got this '57 Chevy right here we're working on. It's not running anymore." And you know, he's got
He's
a
got
dry
great
sense of
humor.
humor, man. And yeah, you were so right. You were spot on because it portrays that in all of his videos that he has on there. So I really look forward to having him on,
Definitely.
and anybody else you can think of, man. You know, ship him my way. If you want to
Oh
pop
yeah,
in sometimes and just say hey, you're more than welcome to,
definitely.
man. And we'd love to hear from you. And just let's just consider number one, you're a lug nut, so you're part of the family. Okay, so that's all there is to
I love it.
it. So Jay, I really
I'll definitely be
appreciate you,
tuned in.
man.
Appreciate you. I'll
Yeah,
be in.
anytime, and good luck this season. Have fun this summer, and you know, just I'll get that stuff. In fact, when you get off tonight, if you'll text me your address and stuff, I'll send you a sticker pack
Yeah,
and stuff like that. Okay.
I would love that. I'll send you text you right away.
All right, buddy. You have a good night. Okay.
Thank you.
All
Take
right,
care.
Jay. Have a good night. Bye bye. See, guys, there's one right there that we've never seen each other. We've never met each other. Never hung out before, but it's just like my brother Scott Chisholm that's in here, man. You know, uh, monster truck family is a monster truck family, man. No matter who you are, who you with, or whatever, it's just you got this bond, and it's really kind of cool, man, to have that bond and be around guys that have a passion for everything like that. So, you know, I'm not. We got about a half an hour left, and we were playing some music. Let's go back to a little bit of music here. Let's see here. Let's find out what we can do here. Oh, and then I forgot to tell Jay, and I hope you're still on, Jay, if you're listening to the show. You are in the museum, the Rollers Museum of Monster Truck Drivers Songs Hall of Fame. So there is an album that your song goes into, and you'll be there embedded with all the big boys for the rest of my life, and as for us as that album comes around. So as soon as I get that album all put together, I got a lot of people I got to send that to. I think there's already 19 songs in there or somewhere close to it. So we'll see what happens here. Boy, I've got to find out. Let's find out here. Okay, there's okay, this one here. I don't know if I did that. Yeah, I did that one. I don't. That's not. I done that one. Let's just do this song right here. We'll just call this one here. This is Jack Daniels Saturday Night. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
On Monday, I turned the key and the motor died. Truck sat still in the driveway. Bills on the seat, coffee gone cold. Sun came up the wrong way. I kicked that tire, said a short prayer. Had places to be, but I wasn't going nowhere. On Tuesday, I showed up just like I always had. Hard hat low, boots laced tight. Boss shut the door, wouldn't look at me. Said, son, we're making cuts tonight. I shook his hand, walked back outside. Lost my job with a noonday sky. On Wednesday, the mechanic named the cause, wrote it down and slid it my way. Said that engine's done, it won't run again. More money than I could ever save. I folded that paper, put it in my pocket. Knew right then I couldn't stop it. Thursday, words turned sharp and loud. Kitchen walls heard every sound. She said she's tired of barely getting by. I said I'm trying, she just cried. We stood there both too proud to bend, saying things we couldn't mend. On Friday, I woke up to an empty room, silence where love used to be. A note on the table in her handwriting said she couldn't live like this with me. Don't call, don't follow, don't try to stay. That goodbye took her in the light away. Saturday night, so here I am on a Jack Daniels Saturday night. The week finally broke me down. No truck to drive, no job to hold, no love left hanging around. I didn't plan on ending up here, didn't see it fall apart this fast. But when a man runs out of answers, he drinks to the week that passed. And Saturday night, Saturday night, when you've carried all you can stand. Some weeks don't just test a man, they break him where he stands. Maybe Sunday brings a little light, maybe I'll try again someday. But tonight I'm learning how it feels when hope meets whiskey halfway. One last drink, then I'll head outside. Cold air cuts like a straight up truth. Long hard week carved in my bones, ending right here in this barroom booth.
You know, in my lifetime, I've been fortunate enough to meet some really cool people, man. And some of them famous, some of them not famous. They were just really cool people. And my dad hung around with a lot of good people down in Texas. And there was a gentleman down there. His name was Jimmy Ray Brock, and we called him the short guy. And Jimmy Ray was just, he loved life, man. He really did. And he was fortunate enough to go on the road one time with Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson. And I had my brother on the show a while back, and I always thought that Jimmy Ray made it about a month on the road. That's why I named the song A Month on the Road. But my brother tells me that he made it about a week. He just, Jimmy Ray loved to have fun, don't get me wrong. But he couldn't hang with Willie and Waylon and all the boys. He said it was just he had to leave. He had to go back home. He said it was just too much fun for the times that they had together. So anyway, I kind of made a song about Jimmy Ray Brock. It doesn't say his name in there, but this is called A Month on the Road, and it's about Willie and Waylon Jennings right here in Jimmy's time with them.
tires hitting the line. Sun rising early, whiskey on my mind. Willie strumming low, wailing, growling deep. The boys laughing loud, no one got no sleep. Big city lights, crowds waiting outside. Girls in the front row, eyes open wide. Every night a story, every mile a song. That month on the road felt way too long. Oh, a month on the road with Willie and Waylon. Bright lights, loud nights, and the songs go on. Smoke in the air, cold drinks in our hands. Singing with the boys all across this land. Every city, every crowd felt alive. The longest month of my damn life. Yeah, the music never stopped, the fun never died. Just me, Willie Waylon, and the boys on the ride. Tour bus nights, guitar strings humming low. Laughing, joking, watching the neon glow. Every bar we hit, every stage we played, hearts beating fast, memories made. Girls in the crowd, boys in the back, smoking laughter along every track. The highway stretched, but we didn't care. With Willie Waylon and the boys everywhere. Oh, a month on the road with Willie and Waylon. Bright lights, loud nights, and the songs go on. Smoke in the air, cold drinks in our hands. Singing with the boys all across this land. Every city, every crowd felt alive. The longest month of my damn life. Yeah, the music never stopped, the fun never died. Just me, Willie Waylon, and the boys on the ride. The lights fade slow, the bus hums low. Stories and laughter everywhere we go. The whiskey warms, the guitars wail. That month on the road, we couldn't fail. Oh, a month on the road with Willie and Waylon. Bright lights, loud nights, and the songs go on. Smoke in the air, cold drinks in our hands. Singing with the boys all across this land. Every city, every crowd felt alive. The longest month of my damn life. Yeah, the music never stopped, the fun never died. Just me, Willie Waylon, and the boys on the ride. And if I close my eyes, I can hear that sound. The guitars, the laughter, the wheels rolling down. That month lives on, etched in my mind. With Willie Waylon and the boys for all time.
Month on the road with Willie and Waylon, man. You got to be stout to be able to hang with them boys. You know, Cousin Debbie, I'm gonna make a song about Fireball whiskey. You just gave me an idea. I think that's gonna be a good one. I really do. I like that one. When you said that out there, I just kind of wrote it down on a piece of paper. That's another one there. You're gonna be acclaimed to fame for there, my girlfriend, right there. Excuse me. Let's see here. Since we're talking about Waylon and Willie, I've always wondered one thing. When Willie passes on, who's going to play his guitar right here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music?
Back in the early days, a Texas boy with a dream. Willie bought him a guitar with a voice like kerosene. Through the smoke-filled bars and the neon nights, they found their sound beneath those honky-tonk lights. That old guitar was more than wood and white, carried every heartbreak, every flame of his fire. They rode them highways, coast to coast, played for the drifters, the lost, and the folks he loved most. On every tour bus rolling through the dawn, that faithful old guitar kept strumming along. Hit after hit, song after song, Willie and that guitar proved each other strong. So who's gonna play Willie's guitar when he's gone? Who's gonna carry those memories on? Will it rest in a museum shining under soft lights, or hang at Hard Rock Cafe, a treasure of those nights? Or will some young dreamer with a heart full of scars be the one to play Willie's guitar? It took a beating, got busted, but never gave in, just like Willie through the losses and the wins. That old guitar knows every story by heart, every tear, every laugh, every humble start. Some say it's magic, some say it's fate, but it's Willie and that guitar that made the legends they made. Maybe it'll rest in a hall where the great ones stay. Maybe Hard Rock will proudly give it its place. Or maybe it'll find a kid on a porch somewhere, picking old songs on a summer night's air. Whoever holds it better know who they are, 'cause they'll be playing more than strings on a scarred up guitar. So who's gonna play Willie's guitar when he's gone? Who'll keep that outlaw spirit living on? Whether it's behind velvet rope or in a young troubadour's arms, someone's gonna feel that magic charm, yeah. Long as the world still loves a country star, someone's gonna play Willie's guitar.
Yeah, I bet you that old guitar goes into the museum. I'll guarantee you that right now. I don't think anybody's going to be playing it. Maybe his son, because he's really close to what he sounds like. I was watching his 100th, or not 100th, 90th birthday or something. What anyway? It was on PBS, and his boy come out and sang a song of his, and you would have sworn it was a young Willie. I'll guarantee you right now. So this next song right here, guys, is called Whiskey on the Wind. We'll be right back here on Pedal to Metal, Motors and Music right here in a minute.
Screen door creaks in the evening air, a moth flutters around, the porch lights glare. The gravel road stretches far and thin, where shadows dance like whiskey on the wind. Oh, whiskey on the wind, it fades, it flies like a restless heart under empty skies. The bottle's dry, the fire's gone cold, and I'm chasing dreams that I can't hold. The barn's lean lift since '95, but it still stands like it's alive. The fields lay fallow, the soil turned gray. Dreams planted here just blew away. And the wind hums low, it knows my name. It whispers loss, it whispers blame. Oh, whiskey on the wind, it fades, it flies like a restless heart under empty skies. The bottle's dry, the fire's gone cold, and I'm chasing dreams that I can't hold. The stars don't shine like they used to do. The moon's just a ghost, a pale tattoo. But I swear I'll find what I've left behind in the dust of this town or the back of my mind. and I'm chasing dreams that I can't hold.
Whiskey on the Wind right here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music. You're listening to the Rolls music right here. And the next song up right here is called That Old Chuck Wagon. And basically what this was is I created this song about a gentleman that was at a museum one time, and they had it was an old West museum, and they had a chuck wagon in there, and he could see all the marks on the side of the wagon from different things and all that, and he just kind of wondered the path of that old chuck wagon. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Seen an old chuck wagon sitting in a museum today. Paint faded and the wheels all cracked with age. I thought about the trails that roll across the prairie, wide and long from the Texas plains to the Montana's mountain song. I could see the cook up front with his coffee black and strong, rattling pots and whistling low, humming an old trail song. I could smell the beans and biscuits and the fire burning slow, while cowboys sat and swapped their tales in the sunset's amber glow. Now that old chuck wagon rests where strangers come to see, a ghost of all the miles it rolled through dust and memory. Once it feed the hungry hearts beneath the western sky. Now it just sits in silence where the echoes never die. There's stories in its wagon wheels and scars in every board. It carried dreams and trail dust, more precious than gold stored. Time's taken all its riders, but their spirits still remain. Every creek and canyon whispers that old wagon's name. Now that old chuck wagon rests, but I can almost hear it roll through the hills of old Montana, still feeding weary souls. Once it feed the hungry hearts beneath the western sky. Now it just sits in silence where the echoes never die. Yeah, that old chuck wagon spirit still rolls on by and by.
Chuck Wagon right here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music. This next song up is about an old gentleman that used to sit on a porch telling a young man stories about his life. And the young man was kind of like, well, I don't know if I believe him or not, but they were sure interesting. Then one day the young man turned into a younger man, and he went off to college and came back, and the old man wasn't around anymore. So this here is called the Rodeo Champion. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Growing up as a kid, I lived on the edge of town. There was a man who told me stories when the sun went down. He told them like he lived them, bronc riding, bull riding too, roping calves and chasing dreams. His stories seem so. He was just a kid with a hand-me-down rope, riding wild calves, hanging on to hope. County fair lights, cheap old chaps, dreaming about the big time under 10-gallon hats. Started working his way up that famous name chain. Took his lumps, learned to dance with pain. Every ride was a notch in his brain, till he grew into one tough bull riding man. 8 seconds of glory, 8 seconds of pain, riding them devils again and again. From hometown dirt to where legends dwell, he chased his dream through 8 seconds of hell. He rode Bruiser in the stockyards down in Fort Worth, cut his teeth on dust, sweat and dirt. Tame Red Rock at old Cheyenne Frontier days. Crowd went wild, they knew that man was one hell of a hand. He drew Bushwhacker down in Houston town. NRG lights and the crowd got loud. By the time he hit 35, there was one bull left to ride. He was broken in blue and walked with a limp. The years that carved that cowboy grin. But legends don't quit, they saddle and yell. When the gate swings open, they give it hell. Madison Square Garden, bright lights and smoke. A bull named Bodacious pawed and broke. 8 seconds of hell, the crowd couldn't tell if he'd make it or die where the legends fell. 8 seconds of glory, 8 seconds of pain. Every scar wrote part of his name. From Fort Worth dirt to the garden's bell, he rode his dream through 8 seconds of hell. 8 seconds of glory, 8 seconds of pain. Every scar wrote part of his name. From Fort Worth dirt to the garden's bell, he rode his dream through 8 seconds of hell. He started young, now they all know his name. The boy who climbed the famous bull named Chain.
Guys, I'm really sorry about that. I guess I don't know what happened there, to be honest with you. And really, Cousin Debbie, tonight it's just Arnold Palmer, man. That just tea and lemonade tonight. But I guess I lost connection or something with the internet. I don't have any idea. But if this studio could be haunted, I guarantee. I think it could be. I'm not sure. I think it. Uh, but anyway, that last song was a song about famous big bucking bulls, and it jumped right to that one because it was the next song in line. So anyway, the Gremlins didn't want to hear the rodeo champion, I guess. But you know what? I still want to hear it, and I got my mouse on the play button right here, so I'm going to play the rodeo champion again. We're going to try it now. If the Gremlins come in, I'm going to just go ahead and just shut the show down, and I'm leaving because I'm never going to come back in the studio again because it's haunted. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music if we don't mess up. Rodeo champion up right here.
Growing up as a kid, I lived on the edge of town. There was a man who told me stories when the sun went down. He told them like he lived them, bronc riding, bull riding too, roping calves and chasing dreams. His stories seemed so true. And then one day I came home from college, saw a sign in the yard that read estate sale. I asked what happened to the old cowboy. The young man said, my dad's gone, he hit the trail. He asked me to come inside, said take a look around. That's when I saw the trophies and the saddles on the ground. Belt buckles on the wall, red champion all around. Top hand rookie of the year and best match right in town. There was one that said most desperation of cowboy, and right then it hit me, standing silent in that room of pride. That old man was a rodeo champion. His stories weren't just dreams, they were his life. Every bronc he broke, every bull he rode, he carried the dust and the scars of the show. Yeah, that old man was a rodeo champion. And now I know the stories were true. Out to that old front porch where we'd sit and talk for hours. Felt the wind blow through the air, smelled the faded wildflowers. I tipped my hat and whispered low, right easy, old friend. Your stories live forever, they'll be told again and again. That old man was a rodeo champion. His heart was tied to the saddle and the reins. Now every time the gate swings wide, I swear I hear his name. Yeah, that old man was a rodeo champion, and his spirit still rides on through that dusty trail.
You know, Carter, I'm glad that my songs make you happy when you're down, baby girl. I really am. So, this last song here of the evening, guys, I'm going to play it for my buddy old Von Long. He is an exceptional auctioneer, ringman, and all that stuff. I get to work with him every week. But the man is a phenomenal horse trainer, and he trains race horses and goes all over probably a 4 or 5 state area. And, you know, being a racehorse trainer is not easy work. You know, you're running up and down the road late at night and stuff like that. And so I thought, you know, I need to make a song about old Von Long. So this here is called The Trainer. Right after this, we're going to go into the outro. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Thank you for putting up with my antics tonight. Thanks to Jay for being on the show. It was a good show, man. I really was interesting to talk to him and find out about the Blue Ox and different things like that. Let's look at our calendar just to make sure. But on the 22nd, which is Sunday, we got Mr. Brad Keller. And Brad was a monster truck driver he still works for KSR, but he also worked for Bill and Lorna Payne. And he was the first driver to drive the truck of, it was called Identity Theft, in which it was made after Gravedigger. And we were in Lake Charles, Louisiana when they brought that truck out. And Bill made the phone call and told Feld about it, and they said, well, they told me, the flames are copyrighted, the red headlights are copyrighted, the green on the frame, and he said, well, then you're going to have to change. There's a lot of green frames out there, and they said, well, you're right, we'll let that go. But make a long story short, that night they made him take the body off before they debuted the truck. Now, when this truck rolled out of the hauler, you would have sworn Gravedigger was in the house. That's how close it looked to the Gravedigger. The only thing that changed it was on Gravedigger, on the sides, they have tombstones of all the drivers that Gravediggers beat and stuff. And Bill took credit cards and put the drivers' names on the credit cards, thus making it identity theft. So anyway, I'm lucky enough to have half of that body in my shop. I have the original body that come off of Identity Theft plus the hood, and I have promised the other half of the hood because I'm going to take it and put it on the outside of my shop. And this is another thing for you monster truck drivers out there. If anybody knows how to take a 66-inch tire and cut it in half, please let me know, because that's what I have to do. I have a 66-inch tire, and I want to cut it in half, and I want to put a front and a back tire, and then I need a wheel, and I want to make a monster truck on the side of my shop. But anyway, I am still at a stun to figure out how to do that, because that 66-inch tire is big tire, a very big tire. So if you got any ideas and it doesn't entail a lot of work, then make sure you get a hold of me. If not, maybe Identity Theft Body is going to be coming up for sale here real soon. So anyway, getting back to the song, this here's The Trainer. It's been great hanging out with you guys tonight. Sorry about the gremlins. I still don't know what happened there. But you're right, Cousin Debbie. I would definitely miss you guys. And Carter, it's always a pleasure to have you on here. It's a pleasure to see all you people on here, all my friends and new friends and stuff like that. Tell them about the show. Tell them to follow us. Tell them to like us. That's the only way we're going to be able to get this baby growing, is with you guys' help. And I need your help. So make sure you pass it along to your friends. And, tell them, hey, for an old guy, he's kind of funny and he's kind of entertaining, So we'll go from there. Anyway, here's The Trainer, and we'll talk to you guys on Sunday. Have a good night. Love you all. Talk to you later.
Up before sunrise, coffee in hand, another small town, another stretch of land, hauling young colts, chasing that trainer's dream, living his life in the fast mile scene. Long nights driving, chasing daylight, track to track, under those bright lights, track lights. The horses are young, but he feels that spark. Thinks he's got a winner, he can feel it in his heart. He can feel it in his heart. Dust on his boots, sweat on his brow. It don't count out the miles, that cowboy just sits there and smiles. Every race is a gamble, every gate's a fight. He's just sitting there waiting for post time tonight. But he's raising champions with all of his might, just hoping he takes that big purse home tonight. Some legs get weary, some backs get sore. The vet gives them care, and they're ready for more. He treats them like family, he believes in their run. Knows one of these colts is a champion one. Long nights driving, chasing daylight, track to track, under those bright lights. The horses are young, but it feels that spark. Thinks he's got a winner, he can feel it in his heart. He can feel it in his heart. The crowd, the thunder of hooves, the victory's close, he's got nothing to lose. Dreams on the line with each pound and stride. Tonight he's a winner with the world on his side. No more long nights, he's found the daylight. From track to track, now the future's bright. The young horse was golden, it was there from the start. He knew he had a winner, he could feel it in his heart.
All right, everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Pedal to the Metal. I want to send out a huge thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in and supporting the show. I also want to thank all of our amazing sponsors. You're the ones that help keep the wheels turning, and we truly appreciate you. Be sure to join us every Wednesday and Sunday. We kick things off with music at 6 p.m. each night, and the full show starts at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Until next time, keep the pedal down, heads high, and we'll see you at the next show.